Adam and Wack, the show, and we've compiled a panel that I know that you have been extremely passionate about making happen, and you think that this is going to be very, very important for the culture. You want to handle some introductions here?
Yeah. I'm talking about the show today.
No, I'm talking about next week's show, but for some reason I'm introducing it right now.
Yeah. You know, you white dudes always like to take the credit.
Here we go.
And I don't know if I consider you a white dude because you don't have a pickup truck.
Off camera, he's getting on my ass for not having a pickup truck.
Kind of white dude is he doesn't have a pickup truck, you know. But yeah, today, you know, I feel like a lot of the podcasts, a lot of the bloggers, you know, we it's fueled off of controversy, beef, and gossip. And it's cool because somebody has to talk about it. But we have a lot of voices in our communities that have a strong following. You know, I believe you've interviewed Tariq before, right?
Yeah.
And then we got Captain Tazaryach, who's from One West, Hebrew Israelite. Correct. Now, my first attempt was to get a debate going on with, what was the?
Richard Spencer.
Richard Spencer, your brother.
You were trying to make him make a comeback.
Well, I mean, because here goes the problem.
On this podcast.
And we're going to talk about it a little later on because you pulled a stunt.
Okay.
Pulled a stunt. You know what I mean? You use the culture to create your platform, and then know what you do? You put a Klansman up there in front of all your viewers.
Klansman is inaccurate.
With no representation.
Not a Klansman.
Of us. That was X. Is he an X? This is a setup.
He was never a Klansman. But now you forced me into a position of having to defend him, which is...
Yeah, because you damn sure didn't defend us. So he's a white supremacist.
He didn't say anything racist on the podcast.
All that shit is the same. Is there a difference between...
Ku Klux Klan is a very specific group.
But I said Klansman, you said white supremacist.
Right,
He's a white supremacist. Is there a difference?
No, I don't know the difference. Maybe one might be more extreme.
Technical.
Maybe it's like
the Klansman is a white extremist. They're an extremist.
Well, it's a specific group.
Right.
So the Klansmen are white extreme.
But a white supremacist can be any type
They're
of white.
They're an organized group of white supremacists.
So you can be a white supremacist but say, I'm not affiliated with the Klan.
Right.
Yeah.
But for black people from the outside looking in, it's all the same to us. That's why you say white supremacist when you say Klan.
And that's why I normally wouldn't argue with someone who called them a Klansman, except for Wack, I have to argue about it.
Like when they had the Unite the Right.
Right.
Out there in Charlottesville.
But that wasn't like organized by the Klan. That was organized by Richard Spencer.
It was about a bunch of white supremacist groups. All of them. Well, I'm not that group. I'm not that group. All of them are white supremacists. So that's what we do. We look at them as one and the same. We don't separate them.
And you know what? I can say I understand it because a lot of people don't understand a lot of shit I do on Clubhouse. Shit that I'm dumb to and don't know about. I'll go find it and pull it into me and educate myself about. Once upon a time, you asked me about a Hebrew Israelite, I wouldn't know what the hell you was talking about. Right. But what you just said, because I've learned that it's a lot of Hebrew Israelites, but then One West, ISUPK, right? They operate independently, but a little different from the rest, right? So I get what you're saying, how like Richard Spencer has his own movement, right? But then they are tied. Ultimately, you guys are tied to
so
being a Hebrew
us,
Israelite.
like, from ISUBK under Commander General Yohanna, he comes from the original foundation that was established in 1969. And so a lot of the Israelites that you see today branch off from that. They branch off from that. So you do have other Israelite groups, but they were branch off from the ISUBK or One West. So even when we say One West, it's an address.
It's an address.
Right, it's an address it was an address in Harlem where it was founded. And so that's why we use the moniker One West.
One West.
It just represents the
identifies who you. But I will say this, right? Adam caught a lot of flack bringing that guy on here.
I heard about
a lot of flack. Adam's kind of like me in the sense with you guys. I learn from you guys.
Right.
I don't know what you guys are going to say. I learn from what you say. And I don't think Adam really knew what the guy was coming to say, but he has a following, right? I believe the guy's following, right?
For the record, though, I was actually pleasantly surprised because he seemed like he had really kind of lost faith in any of his prior racist views.
He was lightened up.
Yeah.
No, but wait, hold
or
on,
at least, but I also feel like he just kind of feels like racism is not politically useful, so it might not be indicative of his actual beliefs.
That's because Trump failed him.
No, but
that's
listen,
true too.
but listen.
He's a big Biden guy, much like myself.
Listen,
now, you know?
I'm a Trump supporter.
Biden guy.
I'm a Trump supporter because of business.
We sliding for
Because of
Biden.
business. He probably gonna get me for that because of business.
Biden
So
can't
look,
stay woke.
and I'm here.
His cognitive health is an issue, but I've known of this guy for a long time. I remember when he was a bright, sunny public figure.
So listen, let me say this.
Okay.
Adam caught a lot of flack for that. But I will say this. My first move was I wanted a debate between
Richard
Smith and Captain Tazaryach. Or somebody from our community, right, that could represent us. Adam was like, well, you could talk to him. No, that's not my lane. I would be doing my people a disservice doing that. I stay in my lane and things that I'm strong at, and I'll step to the plate and do, right? So, but when it comes to that, right, I wanted somebody, right, to represent
And Adam
that.
and I, we were corresponding before that. Remember, we were corresponding, and we just couldn't quite dot the i's and cross the
Nevertheless,
t's,
for whatever reason,
right.
the guy didn't schedule. Adam did not fight me on it. He tried. We tried for a couple months. But I will tell y'all this, right? This is real talk. And this is the reason why I respect this man, right? Never in the history of podcasting have you guys on these major platforms took it upon yourself to say, you know what? Let's bring this together so they can speak and debate, not in a way of negativity, but to feed our people knowledge, right? And when I called Adam and said, Adam, this is what I want to do, I was met with nothing but, okay, Wack, make it happen. So all y'all out there that got something to say about this man, right? He's allowing us. This is his platform. I talk my shit. No Jumper is Adam 22's platform. He built this before I knew what No Jumper was, and he got the right to refuse anything that I ask him of. And it was no resistance. You called me, told me you was out here.
Yeah.
I called the brother. Actually, I contacted Sir Major and said, "Yo, I know that's your brother, right? Call the brother and tell him this is what I'm trying to do, right?" And because of the Wack 100 persona, the brother automatically thought I was on some bullshit. And I tell people, no, you did. That ain't on you. And I tell people, I always say this, once you get to know me, you'll realize the people that don't, you've gotten to know me.
Absolutely.
You know when I'm doing something that may seem like this, you know it's something else.
Right.
And when I got on the phone with the brother, right, after probably like a few minutes into it, we start building, he like, yo, this is something that needs to be done.
Right.
To bring this together, like Adam, this is a lot of knowledge right here for our people. This is knowledge I can't give our people.
Okay.
I just can't, right? And I'm a student to them.
How do you break down your belief system or what being a Black Hebrew Israelite is for the unacknowledged or the people who haven't really?
Okay, so say regardless of ethnicity, right? Just from the belief perspective. So for us as Hebrew Israelites, we don't really like the term Black Hebrew Israelites.
Okay.
Because like the Jewish man, it's almost like saying the N-word in the derogatory fashion. So you might see the abbreviation BHI or Black Hebrew Israelite. So we just say either Israelite or Hebrew Israelite.
Well, y'all don't put black in front of it.
No, we don't put
y'all
black
don't
in
like
front
to acknowledge the black.
Not that we all black.
Yeah.
But we don't like to acknowledge Black Hebrew Israelite because there is no term white Hebrew Israelite.
Gotcha. So they're trying to
that's
isolate.
Their way, right. That's their way to radicalize us.
To make you a splinter group.
Right. To make it seem like we have no right or authority to the Bible, to the Torah, to Tanakh, or anything like that. So we just say Israelite, or some people may say Hebrew Israelite because we speak Hebrew. So to a novice or somebody that has no idea what we teach, what everybody does have in their house is a Bible. And everybody believes in God or Jesus or Christianity or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
So we come in and say we are the children of the book. So we're the ones that when whether they talk about Moses, whether they talk about Paul, whether they talk about whomever, that's in reference to us. That's our culture. And so we identify certain things that have transpired in the Bible that correlate to us today.
So if you're saying what's written in the Bible is our people, then how did it come to be that they owned it?
You mean, I'm assuming you're saying like the Europeans or the white man
they own
it because of disobedience. Like the greatest question for black people in America is how do you fix black people in America? Like, we've been in America for like 500 years. Other races come in there, they're able to flourish. Why aren't we able to flourish? Because we don't have the unity. For us, we don't have a culture or a God. If you ask 5 black people what they believe in or what their nationality is, you're going to get 5 different answers. So if we're not even united with an identity, how can we ever go to a brother and say, we should move like this economically, we should move like this agriculturally, we should move like this spiritually, or what we worship? So we have to have a foundation, and we don't. So in the Bible, we get the foundation. Like, even if you take, we was talking about earlier, BHI, you take the word nigger, for example. Nigger is totally derogatory today, right? We turn it into a cool form.
Yeah.
When you go into the Bible, you'll find that they call the Israelites niggers, because it's just from the Latin word niger, which just means black.
Exactly.
So to wake people up, I can say, you my nigger, Wack, but I don't mean it in the what the white man gave us. I mean it from in the Bible, where it just means these are
let me
black
ask
people.
you a question on that. And I'm glad you guys are here. Because I got a friend, he has a movement called, he collects shoes and he sends them back to Africa.
Okay.
Right? It's called Afrikicks.
Okay.
He's from Niger. No, if you pull it up, Afrikicks, pull it up. I swear to God.
a great name.
You'll see it on there. He's been doing it like 6-7 years.
Okay.
And I didn't know this was happening today. But it's people back there in villages, children with no shoes.
Right.
So he collects, and we kind of like, we don't really trip shoes because it's like, it's just shoes. But back there, he sends me video put. I swear, you go to Instagram, put up Afrikicks, you're gonna see these kids there with no shoes, barefoot, and he had these containers where he's passing out shoes.
Right.
So he was like, yeah, you know, Wack, you know, the word nigger was like, you know, one of the first places they got the slaves from was Niger.
Right.
Right? And he said, you know, just like Europeans, people from Europe, they called them Europeans, you know, so on and so forth. He said, so when they got them over here, and they was like, well, what do we call them? But they're looking at black people like, what the is this? He said they got them from Niger. So he's, you know, their first thing was, well, we got them from nigger. They pronounced it wrong. So they're niggers, right? And I'm looking at him, and he's telling me this, and he's showing me his passports, where he's from, and he's showing me on the map, because I didn't know what the hell Niger was, right? So I'm like, I said, so you see, off the gate, he said it was a descriptive word, but over time, the way it was used and the way it was taken, it turned into what it was turned into.
Right.
He said then the black American took it and started saying nigga as if, I don't know if you guys created that to discredit the word and own it ourselves. I don't know.
Right.
I grew up with it, right?
Yeah, me too.
Maybe
We all-
I'm pretty sure you did some study on this, right?
Yeah, but
so is there any truth?
That doesn't sound accurate.
Yeah, we'll give it to him. We want to know.
The modern slave trade actually started in Spain. That's where modern white supremacy came from.
Gotcha.
When they had the Reconquista, you had black Moors and black Jewish people in Spain, and they expelled them. The ones they expelled, some of them went up to Amsterdam and certain other places. Some of them were captured and brought over here. That's why when Columbus and all of those people, when they came over here, they had translators. They had Hebrew translators, they had Muslim translators, because there had already been travel here from black people who were Muslims and Jews and all of that stuff. So we've already had a presence in the Americas for a long time. Once they brought over the enslaved black people from Spain.
Stop right there, brother. Yeah. You're saying black people were here in America prior to the slave ships coming here.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, talk to me.
There's a great book on that. They Came Before Columbus by Ivan Van Sertima, von Woutenhausen. Yeah, black Native Americans. But again, you had travelers coming over here.
Right.
We knew how to sail. We had ships. They looked at some of these Native American tribes and saw that they have Hebrew languages in some of their native tongue.
Yeah, a good book is Lost Tribes in Promised Land, where they actually spoke Hebrew. And they knew what tribe they came from as far as being Israelites. And just to add, most people think the transatlantic slave trade started from Africa to America, but it started from America to Spain first, just to back up what you're saying. They took the Taino Indians first.
Right.
They took 1,100 Taino Indians as a trial run. And out of that 1,100, 300 survived. And you know what they said? That's good business. And make sure your phone's on mute. They said that's good business. And that became how the transatlantic slave trade started.
They was losing
800.
damn.
Just remember, you know, back
near
then it was like a
77%.
year and a half voyage or something like that to
Right.
go along that. And
Wait. You telling me the first slave trade didn't come from Africa to America. It went from America to Spain.
And then they circled back around. Spain, the Spanish word for black is Negro. All right. So they started using the word Negro as a pejorative. When they brought them over here, the word Negro somehow flipped into nigger. It got shortened to nigger. And again, they had to dehumanize and use these terms as pejoratives for black people. Then it became a negative thing. There is no real definition to the word nigger. All right. That's the trick bag. That's why it flips people out so much, because when you label somebody something and you can't really define it, it throws them off. The word nigger has zero definition. Nobody can explain why it's negative. They say it's an ignorant person.
There you go. That's what I hear.
Right.
Ignorant
But
person.
why, they're ignorant white people. How come they're not called niggas? You see? Nigger is a word that they throw at us, and when you can't define it, you put power on it. For example, critical race theory. That's a powerful thing they use in politics now. There's no definition to critical race theory at all. It's whatever they say it means at the moment. So whenever they put a name or title on somebody without any definition, they can control you. This is why it's important for us to control our culture, identify who we are and what our culture is without letting them label us.
Which is why I broke that word nigger down to show it's even used in the Bible, but it wasn't used in a derogatory sense to back up what he's saying. It wasn't a negative connotation as to how it is now. It's only a negative connotation now because of the stigma to whom they applying it to. So it's supposed to be the nigga is slow, the nigga's not intelligent, the nigga can't do this. But when I look at our history, 40 years removed from slavery, building the greatest civilized cities during the Great Depression. During the Great Depression in America, you got Black Wall Street, you got Seneca Village, you got Paradise in Detroit, you got all these cities that allowed to flourish. So when you say we're slow and stupid and we're unintelligent, it doesn't match up historically. HBCUs, historical black colleges, are black men and women that were able to build colleges during a time where we were supposed to be unintelligent. So we talking about the word nigga, I like how you said there's no definition of that word. The derogatory connotation is on the individual, not
Again,
the
you know what I like? What I wanted to happen is happening. Because by you saying, you like how he said that.
Right.
And I know you. Right? Now, when it comes to your arsenal, when you're doing your debates, you've just found something that you agree with the other brother on, right?
Right.
And now you can add that to yours. And I think that's going to happen going forward.
Yeah,
and I just kind of like just sitting here, a lot of people don't know this, Adam. I was a straight A student growing up. I just grew up in an area where I had to have 5 fights on the way to school, couple in school, come home, this happened, that happened. I had older brothers who stabbed you, the dudes across the street. So I was kind of like a product of my environment. But I was a brainiac. Got to a point in elementary, I had to go from the 5th to the 7th grade, because starting about the 2nd or 3rd grade, they had to put me in the next grade. They would literally send me 2nd grade to the 3rd grade class. 3rd grade, 4th grade class. So by the time I was in the 5th grade, I was doing the 6th grade work. So they're like, what we gonna do for them? So they sent me to take the test. I passed it. I think I was tested at like 8th or 9th grade in the 5th grade. So I graduated in the 5th grade with the 6th graders, and I went to the 7th grade. But I say that to say this. You two are like, when I look at you, Cap, because I'm a movement guy. Right? I got caught up in this gang stuff because that's what it was, right? And this is why I denounce being a gang banger. You hear me say it all the time, right? If I would have had to be part of a movement, it'd probably, like, I'm looking at what I probably would have been. If I would have just stayed in that other lane, right? It's the brother right here, right? If I could have focused on that, but I had to, dealing with everything else, you pick up this slang, you start to become a different mode.
Okay, can we follow that thread?
Yeah.
Very acclaimed black intellectual Charleston White has had some things to say about that gang topic. He said that American gangs, the Bloods and the Crips, are way more effective than the Ku Klux Klan ever was in terms of basically destroying the fabric of black culture. Can we get some thoughts on that? I'd love to know what everybody says about that.
I will put them, listen, and I like the way you came with that because it need to be addressed.
I would just love to know.
Even though it was a white guy's ploy, but it's a good one. I wouldn't say more, but I would say they goddamn in the same lane. I'm not going to fight that.
The Klan has basically been marginalized. It doesn't seem like they have much going on, right?
What do I always say about Martin Luther King? And I say it. It's, I don't know if you ever heard me say this.
No.
I say Martin Luther King, what I wouldn't have done is died for the cause he died from, knowing what I know now.
Right.
Why? He fought for segregation.
No, integration.
Anyway, he fought for desegregation, right?
Right.
And what did we do? This man died at 39, 40, left his wife and kids behind. Blood, we better not catch you at that school. Cuz we better not catch you at that park. We turn around and segregate ourselves. Literally, it's literally places where people say, man, don't go over there, the Bloods over there, or the Pirus over there, or the Crips is over here. Earlier today, when you told me, I said, y'all going to where? I said, you can't go over there, right? So it's kind of like, and like, I was a part of that problem, right? And I don't fight Charleston White on that. Because I feel like
that the Bloods and Crips did more damage
because
than
I can't lie. When I get up and I leave my home, and I'm going places, if I see a group of white people, right, I don't think problem.
Right.
But if I see a group of black people, I prepare myself that it might be a problem.
Gotcha.
But I'm gonna let y'all talk about it. I don't disagree with them.
Yeah. I disagree with that because after Dr. King died in 1968, and there were a lot of uprisings going on in this country. Black people were fighting back against white supremacy, and that was a threat to this society. And the federal government, the FBI, put out memos. They had the COINTELPRO program, and they said, hey, we can't have this stuff going on. We got to do something about these black youths. They're too smart. They're getting on cold with each other, and they're fighting against us. A good friend of mine, T. Rogers, who passed.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to T. Rogers, one of the smartest brothers I know. A lot of dudes who were in the streets, like Wack said. Wack was a straight A student. I know a lot of gangbangers, the smartest dudes you ever know. You go to jail with these dudes, they're like rocket scientists. The thing is, you create these circumstances to put these people in. And when you create certain circumstances, of course, people are going to act out a certain way with economic deprivation. On top of that, in the 1970s, they deliberately started to put these psychopathic drugs in the black community. During the 70s, Tookie and Raymond Washington and all those guys, they were all on sherm sticks and acid. That's why they were doing a lot of that crazy stuff. And not to excuse it, because you don't have to do that, but you don't have to put the drugs in the communities either. So we have to look at everything in the full context. How would these brothers act if it weren't for the drugs deliberately put in there, if it weren't for the economic deprivation, and if it weren't for the racial targeting? Because they had something called an alpha list out here in Los Angeles, where they had all of the top gang members on these lists where the LAPD was supposed to kill them. The NAACP and all of these people had to come out and stop them from having that alpha list. So there's the system of white supremacy that's governing all of this stuff.
But look, bro, I hear all that. So were we dumb enough not to know to touch these things, or were we just not strong enough?
No.
Yeah, if I could tackle that, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which one was it?
Yeah, when we talking about this, right, there's Europeans or white people have something called divide and rule policy. Divide and rule policy is something that they used in India, where they was able to divide India, where they would have one side of white people function and help us, one set of India, and then another side of white people function with another set of India, to keep them at odds to fight each other. And they didn't get free from that till about 1946, 44. You got Korea. The only reason Korea is a North and South Korea is because of divide and rule policy. The Russians decided to support one side, America decided to support another, and then they split. Divide and rule policy is what affects us today. Like, if we're talking about what is worse, the Klan or white supremacy versus the Bloods and the gangs, there isn't a torch that can handle it. Think about the death of Martin Luther King and Malcolm. That's a divide and rule policy. Most people looked at Martin as the peacemaker, so you had a set of black people went for the peacemaker. Then you had some that went with Malcolm because Malcolm appeared and looked more militant. He looked more stronger. And then both of them got killed from COINTELPRO, which is what Tariq Nasheed brought out. So now you got sets of black men.
Which is a form of the Klan.
Thank you. That's what all of this is like. We ain't COINTELPRO.
COINTELPRO.
J. Edgar Hoover and all of them.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
J. Edgar
right.
Hoover.
Right,
And that's
because they never disbanded the Klan. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, the Klan is the cop that pulls you
Right.
over. The Klan is your manager at Home Depot.
Right.
The Klan is everybody. That's everybody. Now, if you can function like that, you can still deal with them and sit next to them, conduct your business and smile and work with them just like they work with you. That's something that black people got to learn. If a white person wants to encourage or empower white, I'm not against that. I'm just against it when you tell us we can't empower black. We should be able to do that.
Everybody should be able to empower their own.
Thank you. But you know what the threat is? The threat is if we empower ourselves, it would be at the lessening of them. Because as long as we can be divided, you take them Bloods and Crips. Let me get back to that. So the Bible says the pressure make a wise man mad. So you kill Malcolm, you kill Martin. You flood us with those drugs, like you say. You put us in a state where we can't get jobs anymore. So now we're just stranded in the neighborhoods, have to work because this is a business. America is an economic country. And so now we ain't got this business, but this white man just gave me this drug. I don't want to sell it, but I ain't got no other choice. Right. I'm not excusing them doing it. They shouldn't have. But I can understand the root of the problem. So if we're talking about what's worse, that divide and conquer policy that the Europeans don't just implement with us, but implement with everybody, we're seeing the residuals and ripple effect. Blacks killing blacks is an act of civil war. And yes, we do harm to each other, but there ain't a greater murderer on the planet than the white man. I don't care where it is. There ain't a better strategist when it comes to destroying a village or a people and to get them to be sorry for it at the same time.
And when you had the Bloods and Crips getting together, having a peace treaty in the 90s, that was a threat because the minute they got together, they went after the white establishment, and that's what they don't want to have. So there's always that rift that they're trying to create.
Because can you imagine?
Hold on, Cap.
Hold
on, Cap.
My bad.
Cap. See, we can't do that. Because, see, listen, all right. White guy kills George Floyd, right?
Right.
Shut cities down. They loot. They march. All this, right?
But a lot of that looting was white folk.
Yeah.
Antifa.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of that looting was white folk.
Rodney King.
Okay.
They beat Rodney King right here in my neighborhood in the city of Pacoima, 4 miles from here. Foothill Police Station on the side of Amsterdam Park. They went crazy. That's when, right? Now, how come when Big Sebo shoot the park up and kill little D and little B-Dog and then hit an innocent kid over there, why the community ain't marching and demanding that shooter be dealt with? Why is the only time we do that is when we feel like the so-called white man has done something to us?
Well, Debo is going to go to jail, number one. And
Not all the time.
If he gets caught,
yeah.
You're not walking around with bodies on you and everybody knows it and the cops ain't
What
doing
I'm
nothing to you.
saying is there's no outrage.
But they get arrested,
that's
and if you
That's
go to
the
jail,
white man.
right?
That's the white man doing their job. What do we do? Because we get together and say, we finna go hit Rodeo. We about to go loot Beverly Hills because they killed Rodney King in Pacoima.
But that dude who's killing a kid, that's not a community thing. The community ain't co-signing
No,
that.
it was a straight bullet. He was
Right, that's what I'm saying.
We back to Charleston
right,
White.
Right, the whole community ain't backing up that guy. Nobody's co-signing
But
this
what
dude
are
killing
they
a kid.
doing?
Well, he gets arrested.
That's the white man doing his job.
Right.
What are we doing? And I'm listening. And I'm talking to y'all.
Right.
Yeah. This ain't even for the brother. He can't even answer the question. He's a trick bag.
No, I'm not. I'm there. He gets arrested before we can do
That's
anything
the
to
white
him.
man. Bull.
Right.
Bull, that is a lie.
But when you think about
Really? Who's killing people? Who's killing people and walking around?
Know of somebody who was a terrorist in the hood and walked around and all they said was, hey, homie, do about that bullshit, right?
And not if he's killing no kids.
No, bro, shit happens.
Because you go to jail, you know in jail, people don't fuck around with dudes who kill kids
What
or
I'm
hurt
saying
kids.
is, he's not doing that intentionally, but we knew in the process of him killing Debo, we know a kid got hit. Right?
usually
We
the
know
hood
these
would-
things.
Usually the
in
hood
actions
will
with
deal
the
with somebody
chil-
messing with a
when it
kid.
comes to
I'm
the
saying-
kids, the
I'm
hood-
saying-
right.
Overall, when Are we as a
And here's the
people
thing.
in our community
Here's the thing.
going to strike back at us?
Here's the thing. When we do strike back, when we do act as vigilantes, that becomes black on black crime again. Because
Right.
a lot of times when we clap
But that's
back
the
at
only thing
somebody,
you will be able to be as a
I'm glad you said that.
But wait, before you
why
say
are you thinking like that? You know why?
Why?
Because we have not sat down amongst ourselves and said, hey, we have to police ourselves. Right?
Hey,
Wait.
we get charged as criminals
Right.
and we
But
police
when the
ourselves.
Panthers-
Why
when the
does it
Panthers-
have to be we got to do some vigilante type stuff?
That's what it is.
Well,
If you wanna-
that's the word that's used, but what you're saying is what he's saying.
so
It's
there's no
just a
answer
different
to
word.
it?
It is. He's
I'm
answering
answering it.
The Panthers did it. They would police
Right,
themselves. They
right.
would do all of that themselves.
Right.
And then that still was a threat. Because if we show that we don't need white people to police us, then how can they ever infiltrate us and keep us down? They would never let us alone.
So you don't
Right.
you don't believe?
But wait, I wanted to say one. I was
Hold on,
wanted to say one
wait,
thing.
Cap.
Go ahead.
We need the white people to police us, right?
No, we
No.
don't. No, we
What
don't.
you mean?
We don't need the
You
white
just
people
said,
to put.
well,
No,
who's gonna police us?
we can. What I said was when
You know
we
who
did
need to police us?
Who?
You punk motherfuckers out there telling them kids. Nah, hold on.
Okay.
Y'all in the neighborhood. You telling them kids 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old who don't have a felony.
Right.
Stay in the hood. Push the hood. Do the things we hood doing. But the minute somebody like me tell them, go to the police academy. You tell them they a snitch. You tell them they ain't no good, they can't come back. The minute I tell them, go to the military, right? Oh, you's a buster, you ain't this, you ain't about that life. See, if we get enough of our people
Right.
going to the police academy or going to the military, coming back out of the military and maybe entering law enforcement, then we stop having a complaint that Opie pulled us over, acting all nervous, and shot us for no reason because your nephew, and my nephews and cousins, they grew up around us, so they know how to deal with us. They not nervous like that talking to us, right? But you know where it's starting? It's starting in the streets on the block, these so-called OGs. See, being an OG is telling them, go to school, learn how to read and write. Being an OG is telling them, yeah, go to the police academy, come back with those credentials.
Now, here's the thing, Wack. You had a brother named Chris Dorner who did just that. Remember Chris Dorner?
yeah.
He was a brother militarily trained.
That's the one. I didn't come outside when they was looking for him.
Yeah. No black man came
I looked
outside.
too much like
Yeah.
I did not come outside.
Look, he
was looking for the police
He did,
chief.
he did just what
right.
you said, and he saw how corrupt it was.
Right.
He said, hey, man, these people are evil as hell. I got to take them out my damn self.
Nah,
He-
but he should come on with that crazy shit.
I'm just saying his mentality. I'm
See,
saying
when did we
his
do
But
that?
I
mindset.
think he got rejected. With him,
He got
was-
out.
Yeah.
But
When
we
he got
can't say that's the way to go.
I didn't say that. I didn't say it. I'm just reporting
He was
history.
wilding on when he
Yeah.
got rejected by the police. That rejection is what caused him to get reckless.
Right, and he was talking about how people were being abused, and
Right.
he was reporting
And he
it.
was trying to report it. And,
they-
of course, you
right.
can't do that because
Do you agree? Do you agree that more of our youth that don't have felonies and maybe, they don't have a scholarship to go to college, they should enter the police academy and go to the military?
Some do. We should have more people in law enforcement. We do have to understand how law enforcement is set up. They have police unions where they have certain white people come in and they screen people to allow white supremacists to be in law enforcement. Out here in Los Angeles, you have white supremacist gangs in the sheriff deputy department.
We don't never get
So-
there if the OGs in the streets is telling them, you a bitch if you go to the police academy. You ain't gonna be good over here if you go to the police academy.
They don't have to listen to them. They can go.
But they're listening to them.
But they don't
are,
even
but-
have to listen to these old heads. They could just listen to the fucking radio or any popular rap song that's basically telling you that you ain't shit if you ain't shot
Do
somebody.
you think it's a problem with that, Cap?
I got two answers. One, when you was talking about the killing, right? The reason why there's no rally to back up Tariq's point when a black kills a black is because they get arrested. They get arrested. They go to jail.
Not all the time.
It gets handled. Eventually, sometimes I don't want to make it absolute, but more than not, they get arrested.
George Floyd's killer was arrested and put on trial and everything, and that didn't stop the greatest racial reckoning in the history of our country. Right?
What made the joke? Wait, before
Got
I
a
say
point.
that, right?
Right, it took
he
the
was
riots to
arrested.
get
Right,
arrested.
but
Did
the
it?
reason why they riot,
yeah,
the reason why they riot in March when a white kill a black is because nothing ever happens. So now in their mind, I'm going to march to get justice for Eric Gardner. Eric Gardner got choked out on camera. You could watch it. Tamir Rice got shot by
That
a
was
cop.
a brother in Eric Garner, what was that?
Staten Island.
Eric
selling
Garner, that was a
cigarettes.
brother in New York.
In New York.
He got choked
The
out.
cop choked
I
him
got
out.
my own opinion about that.
Right.
He said, "I can't breathe." You know what? What would have made him let? You know what
they
they would
let go? They were supposed to let go.
Right.
Right.
But you know why they didn't let go? Because he said, "I can't breathe." In the cop's mind, he's still resisting. Why not just be quiet, drop your hands?
Not
But in
gonna
his
happen.
mind, I'm being choked to death.
Your natural
Right, your
reaction.
natural
is survival.
reaction. But to answer your question about the police and the military, I would be against the military because now you have no control. So you're going to go from so-called fighting each other in gangs to now being in the greatest gang, which is the American military, which goes out and kills whoever it is, and you have no say-so.
You got
in
a
that.
problem with Americans? I'm American, Cap.
Boy, here you go with this. I'm American too. I live in
So why you
America.
got a
I was
problem with the
born in
American
America.
military, Cap?
I have a problem when that military says, when America says it's wrong for us to take up arms and defend ourselves lawfully in our own neighborhoods, but then I could join their military and go pillage Palestine or pillage Afghanistan or Africa or somewhere else
That's
abroad.
politics based on running.
That's politics we don't control. What
So
about
you
our
telling me-
politics? Wait, hold on, Wack. What about our politics? In our neighborhood, there's politics of how this block is going to be safe again. I remember when I grew up, my mother was Big Mama, so with one of them, it was
That's
like
real.
a couple of them.
Yeah,
So now on that block, there was politics. If I got out of pocket, Miss Royster could discipline me and then come
That's
to
a
Miss
fact.
Gas and tell me about it because there was politics.
That's a fact.
So if we can't politic our own neighborhood, why should we go and politic somebody else's country? So that
You know
doesn't make
what?
sense.
No, I'm gonna say this because I just saw this the other day. My boy Top Dog, TDE.
Okay.
He from Nickerson Garden Bounty Hunters for real. I seen something the other day. You got Grape Street Watts, Bounty Hunter, Bloods, PJ Watts. Them the three main projects over there. SZA is one of his artists.
Okay.
I watched him take 30 or 40 tickets. He went to all the projects, the Crip projects, got the children, the gangbangers, not the little ones, the gangbangers. Gave them all tickets and brought them all together. And they went to that SZA concert. These is people that see each other
Would normally-
and will kill each other on sight. Top Dog from TDE.
And you know what that says?
He took all the youth to the SZA concert, his artists. He's utilizing what he has control of
Right.
Yeah.
and brought them together. And I guarantee you, those people, those kids start following each other. Now they know each other. They laughed and joked.
Yeah.
They danced and partied, right? He had them VIP seats. So I know I talk about a lot of things that we don't do.
Right.
But some of the things we do, we need to talk about because
Right.
we are naturally, our black people,
Right.
competitive.
Right.
We are competitors. So I challenge myself and the rest of you brothers out here, us sisters, that have a platform, some say-so
Right.
in the situation, like Top Dog just did. I want to see you go back to these communities and let's try to bring them together.
And you know what that shows? They're not killers. Like what that shows, if he
Being shown
can
another way.
if he can grab them who at one time they're around each other, they will fight, shoot, whatever it is, but then now they're not doing it because of this opportunity, then that just means they just need opportunity. And if you give these brothers and sisters the opportunities, they can do anything. You just talked about how you smart. In my everybody in the neighborhood, even if they're in the greatest killer you can think of on the planet, they're still smart and intelligent. And so all they're lacking is opportunities.
And I'm glad you keep saying that word. And this is why when y'all call me and say, why you fuck with Adam, Wack? He's this, he's that. We only at this table on this platform because he gave me the opportunity to run my play. This is why.
You could have filmed this at the Boys Club.
Yeah, but guess what? Your platform, believe it or not, is a platform that people flock to, right? And you giving a lot of people. AD, they all had their problem. And AD won, I can speak for AD.
You don't
That's
gotta
my
gas
nephew.
me up.
No, this is real stuff. You gave AD an opportunity. AD knows that.
Okay.
And believe it or not, whether you want to believe me or not, every time your name comes up, he says, I fuck with Adam, I respect Adam. This is real stuff. You've given a lot of our people opportunity to do things, and I commend you on that because some of our own people don't give us opportunity.
Right. I mean, he wild. Listen, Adam
know what I'm saying?
do get some props for that.
Yeah.
When I was doing an interview, I said Wack is like a cheat code to me because I don't know Wack unless it's from Club. If I don't ever go on Clubhouse into one of his rooms, I don't know Wack at all.
That's real.
I never met Wack. I heard of him, but never met him.
Yeah.
I go into a room, and it was a Muslim room. And from that one Muslim room, remember that Muslim? It was a Muslim. And from that one Muslim room, we're
They wanted
here.
to fight him.
Yeah, they wanted to fight me and everything. Yeah.
They wanted to fight.
He be working motherfuckers.
No, you know what
He be
You
crushing them.
know what his coldest weapon was?
Yeah.
I noticed. I said, okay. They are trained. They never lose their composure.
Yeah,
And it irritates you even more if you're losing the debate.
Right. When a motherfucker's
brother
killing
was
you and
like,
they being cool with it.
that brother turned from minister best Muslim to gang shoot him up. I'm gonna see you on the block. We gonna pull up and all over. Just a debate.
It was a debate.
But just from that, that debate, me and his brother, and I want to point out something else. As me and his brother building, his brother let me interview Kanye. He didn't have to let me do that at all. I didn't even think I was doing it. I called him to pay for the interview. He said, "No, you're gonna do the interview." Then after that, we had a clash. Well, at least was perceived a clash. And what
I'm
I
gonna tell you something today, Cap. I never told you.
Okay, and so
You and Wack had a class?
yeah, me and Wack had a clash.
Oh, shit.
It wasn't really me and him.
No, it wasn't me and him.
It was my side of the app
Right.
versus their side of the app.
Right. So
and
now
I'm gonna
me and
tell
him
you something
directly. Okay.
that I never told you.
Okay. As soon as I finish.
I'ma tell you
so
something.
what I like the most, and what I think a lot of people, especially from like watching your show, I watch your show, so I see everybody gets on the show and then they want to clash and have this enemy that doesn't have to last that long.
This man
And
has
so-
a black belt in that.
So with Wack, right? So we have this so-called clash. It lasted. I thought it was over, and he'll tell you, even in the middle of it,
about? What was the clash?
over Biggie and Tupac, but it wasn't even Biggie and Tupac. It wasn't even about Biggie and Tupac at
wasn't
all.
even about that.
It wasn't about that at all. It was just like he said. It was about his side and my side.
All right,
right.
all right, all right.
And
First of
so-
all, let's rewind.
Yeah.
I got this thing on Clubhouse. I built a site. It's a machine.
run
Called
24/7.
the 100 side. It's open 24 hours, 7 days a week. It rotates. It's a rotating schedule. It's like 18 rooms.
Yeah.
So you can't. If you're a room like another room, you can't come in. So when I saw the Hebrew Israelites in the debate with the Muslims, I said, you know what? We don't have this over here.
Right.
And I was learning some stuff. So the queen of the 100 side, R&B, I said, R&B, get with Cap and see if they want to come over here to the side, right?
Yeah.
So as I'm over there, I'm noticing that the ISUPK guys is coming periodically, but the overall community wasn't. But I'm showing extreme love to the Hebrew Israelite movement because what comes with me is about 30 YouTubers recording all day long and they sending it out.
Right.
So it's surpassing just Clubhouse. So I never told you this.
Okay.
You see how you say it was Biggie Tupac? I don't give a shit about arguing
Right.
about no Biggie Tupac.
Right.
But I wanted to see how real it was. So I started a beef. One side against IS, the Hebrew Israelite, y'all trying to manipulate and kidnap our women from our side.
Hilarious.
You kidnap and manipulate our women. You over here infiltrating. You just like J. Edgar Hoover. You COINTELPRO and a black face in his own, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see who was really genuine and who wasn't. Guess what happened? Israelites that we didn't even know existed start popping up.
Popped out on
Fuck
Word is
Wack
bond.
100, screw the 100 side, those gangbanger thugs. I wasn't hearing none of this when I was broadcasting them on the
Right.
YouTube channels.
Right.
But you know what one guy and what movement I never heard the peak from? Captain Tazaryach and the One West guys, they never spoke ill against me or my side.
Okay.
So it let me know, Cap, you in fact in your movement is definitely a standalone movement
correct.
because all the rest of the guys, he's from the streets, he's the
Right.
gang, and Cap is telling them, I'm telling y'all right now, me and Wack gonna be all right. He running the play. I don't know what play he running, but Biggie and Tupac doesn't make sense.
Right.
And the fact it doesn't make sense, I know he's doing something. What? He said, give me a month or so, me and Wack gonna be all right. Cap on no jumper.
No, that's real talk. And I think
used no jumper against you too.
He did. And then what make it good though, to my point, was that even in the middle of the class, brothers should be able to have disagreements and it don't end in the friendship forever.
Right.
Just because, and that's in the Bible too, like disagreeing with a brother, it happens. That's again politics. The politics of beef. If people have beefs, there should be a place you should be able to go to squash it.
Right.
It shouldn't be a place that you go to ignite it and keep it going, because the goal is to end it. If you in a business and your business and beefing is messing up your business, the only thing you could do is end it. And then now, if more people see that instead of the constant tension, friction, violence all the time, then they be like, okay, these brothers know how to handle themselves.
Right.
But nobody is actually going out to teach. And what I like about the organization, I mean, we're good. Oh, Godalha left. The brother that runs California, I'm not from California, I'm from Jersey. I'm born in Jersey, raised on 141 Woodlawn in Jersey City, New Jersey, but I run New York, meaning I run the school in New York. And so what we do is we create that politic nature. If there's any issues that brothers and sisters have, we work out a way to mend that bond so that they can go back to being brothers again. They can go back to being sisters
That's a
again.
great movement.
Damn right. But in the entertainment world, it's like the frenzy is the beef. The more drama you have, the better it
And we're
is.
losing.
Right. And I ain't gonna say I don't like none of it, because we all could get caught up in the drama. I like some of it. But I also like resolutions to it
Right.
as well. So if anybody knows the history, you can see, first of all, me and Wack were great beforehand, we're great now, and we rocking on no jumping. I appreciate Wack for
My
bringing me
man,
up there.
S Mac from Rolling 60s. He put up a post the other day that said, just because we end a friendship doesn't make us enemies.
Right.
I simply just chose not to be friends with you anymore.
Right.
Right?
Real talk.
Doesn't make us enemies.
Right.
That don't mean I can't see you, you can see me.
Right.
We're just not friends anymore. Right? So, and that's real. But these days, if a friendship ends,
Yeah, that means
we're beefing.
Right.
Forever.
Because there's so much to gain from
Right.
the public drama of
Right.
beefing with that person that I constantly see people not be able to resist it, even though it basically quite often means like compromising their own code. And like
Right.
people who say that they're loyal want to like, just proclaim that they're loyal, even though as soon as they have any kind of friction with somebody, they run to the internet to document it.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's
Now,
crazy.
Alan,
as
you
hell.
said recently that I blame a lot of non-FBA people for a lot of stuff.
Well, that's pretty much the theme of a large percentage of the
No,
conversations I've
you
heard you
said it.
have.
We ain't no
Right.
large percentage. We talking about
Now,
what
how
you
do I?
said.
You're right.
Hey, man, lock them doors.
Because
I want to get on that.
I can't hold it against you because I love it.
I wanna
You
get-
lock the door.
Let's lock these doors real quick. Thank you, brother.
You'll have a conversation. I'm sure you've heard Tariq do this, where it'll be, this black person did this bad thing. What do we think about it? And his immediate claim is, well, I think they're Haitian. They're definitely not FBAs. Yada yada. And it's like, it's just kind of like a fascinating thing that the conversation frequently
want a black
veers
American.
towards.
Foundational Black Americans, yeah. So if somebody does something weird, a lot of times it gets dumped on us, and then we look at the background of the people. They're not even from here. So I'm like, wait, I don't want to hold nobody's negativity. So if anybody does something,
So if a Haitian does something,
Right, because what
or
happens-
a Jamaican does something,
right, because if a Jamaican or a Haitian wins an award, all of a sudden the Jamaican American won this award. They go out of their way to
got a
differentiate
point.
themselves from us.
he got a point.
Do the
We gonna
same
talk
shit. You
about
do the
it.
same shit when you do a crime.
He got a point. Yeah, I get you.
If you do a crime, be Haitian when you do that
But
crime.
when I see you going to war with Dante Ross, for example, on Twitter and whatnot,
Oh, yeah.
his opinion is that it's divisive, that this is not productive, that this doesn't add anything to the discussion, that black people should be attempting to have more unity, to move more as a unit and not, separate themselves based on stuff like who's been in the country longer and everything like that. What do you say
Well,
to that?
lineage is lineage. I come from a lineage, and that's just history. My lineage comes from here. I don't come from no immigrants. No immigrants are in my background. And Dante Ross, his beef is about the documentary we're doing. We're doing a hip-hop documentary where we're telling the truth about who created hip-hop. It wasn't Latinos and Caribbeans.
Okay.
That's a lie that they've been promoting.
And why do you think they're promoting that?
To take
Who's promoting that?
the corporate media. They're trying to say that
I believe they was part of the rise of it, but they didn't create
it. They came later.
Because they love to take all the different minorities and just sort of round them all together and just say people of color.
No,
And
no,
so-
no, no. You can't do that.
Well, my
right.
position is a little different though. So I rock with him with, he probably gonna say like we're not African, right?
We have African lineage.
African
we have
descent.
African, we're descended from Africans. So we do have.
Okay, well,
I'm Black American of African descent.
I'm a foundational Black
I'm not
American.
African nothing.
right.
Right.
Well, I don't believe that we're
If
African.
America and Africa go to war,
Right.
I'm trying to. I want the Americans to win. I'm banned armed for the Americans.
Very well. So
I don't want to adapt to another way, bro. They out there with trillions of dollars, and 4 miles down the road ain't no running water.
So my position is different. Like when we was talking earlier, and we was talking about Negroes being over here, Taino Indians. We were speaking about that. So for me, the Taino Indians today would be what we call the Puerto Ricans. For me, the Dominicans, the Haitians, North Central South, all those Indians, those are all my brothers. The West Indians, those are my brothers. So that's how we look at it. So from my perspective, from my position, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel are the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So the Mexicans, Black people love to hate. That goes right back to that divide. Like you get a good book called Black Indians that I was referencing.
Bro, you said that a Hebrew Israelite's father,
right? That determines
to
what
be
you
black.
are. No, it has to be an Israelite. So let's say, take Drake. I use Drake for an example.
Any of those, if you're part of any of those.
Yeah, so take Drake for an example. I heard this, some guy on the internet said that Drake had to take a position on the Israeli-Palestinian war.
No,
that's
that sucker black.
Oh, I didn't know if I could say
Black,
his name.
that's some sucker shit.
Yeah, I didn't like that shit. That's the divide.
I didn't like that.
And I'm going to tell you how that's a divide. And I'm gonna explain Drake, and then I'm gonna say how that's the divide and conquer.
Respectfully, if you're gonna come up here biting your tongue, bro.
I ain't know if I could mention
that's not a good representation. That's not a good representation of One West, bro. We ain't doing no biting no tongue.
No sweat, I got you, no problem.
All right, let's go.
So that cat Vlad, which I thought that's that divide mentality.
I seen that. I didn't
because
like that.
Drake has a Jewish mother, but he has a black father. So to us, he's black.
Right.
It doesn't matter what your mother is; it matters what your father is. The reason why I said he's trying to play it because
Khaled too. I think it was Drake.
Yeah, and Drake and Khaled.
Right.
But here's a divide. Whenever whites have done anything, or so-called Jewish people have done anything, when has he ever went to Jewish people or white people and said, why aren't you speaking about this or what's happening to black people? Why aren't you doing this? Why is it only Drake has to speak on the Israeli position so that it could galvanize the people? Why do we have and
what is he?
And also, you said
Russian
something
Jew.
about the 12 tribes. You said
Russian Jew.
Mexicans are part of the 12 tribes.
Yeah,
Now, some people say, well, before 500 years ago, there wasn't a Mexican race, so how would they come from?
There wasn't a Puerto Rican, there wasn't a Haitian, there wasn't a Dominican or a Mexican before the Europeans colonized them.
Right.
Like you can go to a certain region of Mexico, they darker than you and I.
Right, there were black people.
Well, see, even the term black. So I get why when you're saying black, ethnically. So I would say Mexicans are from the tribe of Issachar. I wouldn't call them Mexicans.
Okay.
I would say so-called Mexican. If you want to say black, all 12 tribes are black, different shades of brown. Like a Dominican, you see David Ortiz. David Ortiz is a brother, but he don't look as light as somebody else.
DR, you look just like a bunch of them. You got some Dominican in you.
You know what's funny?
For
you
real,
say that.
bro.
I had a job and Dominicans came talking Spanish to me, and I said, I don't
bro,
speak
I
it.
swear, I'm looking at these brothers. I'm in a whole room. All the people from the Bodega Association, owners, and I'm looking at them, and I see us. The noses, the lips, the jaw. I'm looking at us, right?
But they classify themselves as white.
Now, see,
Do
that's
they
a
do.
mentality. Yeah, Puerto Ricans do too.
Nah,
Though.
Clubhouse, they fight us and say they're Afro, they black.
Some do, but see, the ones that fight us are the ones that really believe that they're Afro-Latina and accept that. But you do have Puerto Ricans and Dominicans that will say that they're white, that they're not. So I can't argue with that point.
Where does white factor into the DR, though?
To separate from DR.
No, but that's one of the tribes, right? So how does that?
Because you could look at like
are they
colorism.
grabbing it just to grab it,
Yeah.
or is there some truth to them possibly being European?
Well, Spaniards did conquer, so I
They
wouldn't say
identify with the Spanish side.
Right,
Even though they're
exactly.
black, that's
Right.
why they say, well, I'm Spanish. And they're
even
black.
Spanish is saying you're a Spaniard because the Spanish, the conquistadors, they did colonize a lot of North, Central, and South America, the island of Dominican Republic, and so forth. So some of them do. I'm not saying that even black people, every black person is not black. You would have to see, like whenever I say like Bob Marley is not black, I go through, everybody goes into a whole uproar because they look at his complexion, but his father's an old white man.
When you look at, if
You
you
saying Bob Marley, not
if
black.
anybody listening, y'all,
So it's not
Google,
about what you look like.
it's
about
what your father is. Right.
What about French Montana?
French
He's
Montana's
black.
Arab. No, he's Arab.
He's Arab.
No, I thought he's from
He's from Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah,
That's
he's
not
Arab.
Africa.
He's Africa, but they identify as
They
Arab. and
Arab.
white.
They go over there and speak all that Arab stuff. But if anybody was to look up
French is
Bob
my
Marley,
nigga. I don't care what y'all want to call
I like some of his music
French my
too.
nigga. I don't care what y'all want to call him.
But if you look up Bob Marley's father and take the melanin and put it on Bob Marley's father, that's what Bob Marley looks like. But he's a white man, an old white man. He's like 50-something years old.
Was his mother like African?
His mother was black. His mother was a
she
West
African?
Indian.
'Cause
She was Jamaican. His mother was Jamaican. So, of course, growing up under your mother, he takes his mother's culture, identity, and leans more towards that. And I use that as an example because colorism is something that plagues us. Light skin versus dark skin. Whether it's Dominicans versus us, black people, let a red bone black person be around a dark skinned black person. We're taught that there has to be tension there. We're taught that she has to be, or he has to be white because he's a red bone. When you can go into Africa and you can see Africans with blonde hair and blue eyes that have never been touched by Europeans at all. Colorism is something that goes right back to that divide and conquer mentality that the Europeans employed on us.
I'm American. So
I'm American too, man.
Yeah. I'm a foundational black American. I identify with that.
See, he said he American. I'm so-called American.
Right.
Cause see, I'm gonna be real, bro. I'm gonna be real.
Right.
Like, who do we honor? Do we honor the house Negro that say, "Massa, they running," or do we honor those white people that hid us and fed us along the way? I believe it's good on both sides. So I'm born in
You can't
77.
say that every single white person is evil. You can't.
That's
do
what
that.
I'm saying.
When we say
They help. Some of them hung from trees just like we did.
I don't know about you going to.
What?
I don't know. You know about
you
some
saw
tree
you
hanging
telling
white
me
people? You know
none of them
what?
white people
Yeah.
that got caught helping
I don't
us
know.
on the move hung from
Listen,
trees.
you got to prove that. I don't believe
so
no
you
white.
telling me them Klansmen just let them go? They didn't treat them as if they
If
treat
they
us.
did kill him, they didn't hang him.
Right.
That's
right,
reserved
right,
for us.
Right.
But when we say, so like sometimes Israelites, now I'm going to say some things that Israelites say. Sometimes you might see the Israelites say, and this includes me, so like the white man is the devil, right? The word devil just means deceiver. When we make that statement, we're not talking about every single person. It's like saying all black people eat chicken. All black people don't eat chicken.
Throughout the 1800s and 1900s, 3,400 black Americans were lynched. 1,300 whites were lynched.
There you go.
Oh, you got to
I'm
send
hung
that to
from
me.
a tree.
Right.
I've never
I
heard
just
that.
Googled
those are,
word-
those are
Googled
the
it?
ones that's just documented.
I googled
They hung
were
from
whites
a tree.
lynched.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I don't know.
Like, bro,
Was it
so-
hang lynched though? Like hanging?
And I'm gonna be real with you.
Good question.
When I got out of prison, my job opportunities came from a family called Wagner's Trucking out of Billings, Montana. You talking about, those type of white, they come from that. David Wagner, Wayne Wagner. I walked in there on parole, French braids, all that, and I told him, I said, look, I'm this, I'm that, I need a job. He gave me a job. One of my first contracts in the music business, because Ray J gave me a shot to enter that side of the business and get out the streets. Alan Grumblack, which he's Jewish, right? So in prison, I've had fights with what they call the Peckerwoods, right? I had fights with Crips, with Bloods. So when I say I'm American, I'm simply saying that when it comes to me doing business and navigating myself through life, I think like that. I don't look at a person and think because they're black, they're good for me, or because they're white, they're bad for me.
Right, you're not supposed to.
I
though.
first let them present themselves.
Right,
And
exactly.
then
You're not
I
you're
gauge it and
absolutely-
judge it at that. Because
Right.
you got some people like, all white people are the devil. No, I know some black devils too.
I'll tell a story. I remember I work in corporate America, right? So I do my videos, I street teach and all of that. And so I work in networking, computers and all that stuff like that. So one day I come to the job, this Puerto Rican brother, he's like, yo, Tariq, man, they found your videos. They playing them in the conference room. So I have a Jewish owner.
Your Israelite
Yeah,
videos.
my Israelite videos. I'm barking and blazing on white people, all that. And so The Jewish owner calls me in the office. We sitting down there talking, and he's like, I saw your videos, on the street. I said, yeah, I do that, outside of work. I don't bring that here. He said, good. He said, you don't bring it here, and keep it that way. Because what we do with our economic growth has nothing to do with for my people. So if I can go work in corporate America, I should also be able to go in my neighborhood and wake my people up, get them off of drugs, restore them, build a community, and they don't conflict.
Guy, though. He could have.
He could have.
Right.
He could have. If I wasn't good at what I do, he probably would have said, "Nah, we gotta let you go," or something like that. But I was good at what I do, I think he's gonna say something.
Well, my question is just, we see you guys rocking the 6-pointed star and everything, and a layman's interpretation might be to think that you have issues with Jewish people. Or how do you feel about Jews in general and like the Jewish state of Israel?
Jews in general, or the Jewish man, we look at him as the imposter. He's not the original Jewish man. He's not the only way we can identify who the children of Israel are is to go to the book about the Israelites, which is the Bible. So if you go to the Bible, they don't match the people of the book. The Jewish state became a Jewish state in 1947 after World War II, when they just divided Palestine, which is why they're at war right now. They just divided Palestine and by force created an Israeli state. But that's not their land. I believe there was an Egyptian prime minister that said the Jews left black and came back white. Nobody believes that they're the people. Helen Thomas, one of the secretaries for the White House, when they asked her what does she think about the conflict, she says, well, they should go back home. And the reporter's laughing. Is like, what do you mean by that? She said, well, they're from Germany, they're from Poland. They should go back home. They fired her later that day because she told the truth. So they're just not the children of the book. They're the imposters of the book. That's how we look at them.
Why is it that whenever black people claim their Jewish heritage, they say that is anti-Semitic? We always hear that trope.
Anti-Semitic is a weird term because biblically speaking, Shem, anybody that comes from the man named Shem, that's what Semitic is a English word, right? It's short for Shem. Shem is a man that had children, and they eventually became different tribes. So the Arabs technically are Shemitic. We are Shemitic. Whites are Shemitic. Asians are Shemitic. They're all Shemitic people. The Jewish man, I think in the 1800s, coined the term Semitic to be specifically about them. And it's really a trick bag.
Right.
It's a straight up and down. It doesn't matter what you say. If they deem it as derogatory, it's anti-Semitic, which basically means if you don't say everything out your mouth pro-Jewish, you're anti-Semitic. And the reason why they look at us that way is because they don't want to give what is rightfully ours. So they have to discredit us, because if we are Jews, let's say the Israelis are the Jewish people, and then we lay claim to that, we say we the lost tribes, they would have to by right give us the same things that they're giving their own Jewish people.
Right. Because historically, the person who spread a lot of the knowledge of Judaism into Europe was a black dude named Eldad the Danite.
Right.
Around the 8th or 9th century, he became a celebrity. He was saying that there was a tribe of Jewish people in East Africa.
Right.
Not too long ago, about a couple of decades ago, they did a DNA test on this tribe in Africa, found out they were really Jews, and they never said anything else about it.
Right.
So it's proven scientifically
That
and
they are.
historically that.
But again, that means
You got a whole
land.
tribe in Africa that was all Jewish.
Yeah.
Jews.
Jews.
Right.
And they
Are
said
you
they
saying
came
your
from-
kind of Jew?
Right, my kind of Jew.
Like the
my kind of
Israelites.
Jew, right, an Israelite. And so what that means is land, inheritance, the same way, like Jewish people make sure that they stay within their own ecosystem as far as taking care of their own. But now if they recognize the black people that are laying claim to that, they would have to give them the same thing.
Right.
And they're not going to do that.
Right.
Because, of course, they're not the people, and they've just learned to monopolize that term. They've learned to take over and monopolize, and it's really through their military power. I mean, America funds the hell out of them. Even in this Israeli-Pakistani war, if you say, like, they just fired this black woman who was an attorney in New York because she chose to be pro-Palestine. Now, I'm not pro neither, and I pray no black person makes really an opinion. This is their war. This has nothing to do with us. I don't know if y'all heard what Amari Stoudemire said. Did you hear what Amari?
What he said?
Amari Stoudemire said.
Oh, I did hear what he said. Yeah,
When he said, "Fuck you, the black people that don't support the Israeli people."
Well, that's what you just asked. Yeah,
Yeah, Amari Stoudemire made a video where he said, if you black and don't support the Israelis, fuck you. That's exactly how he said it.
Right.
And what's weird about that
is he Israelite?
he's a Jewish type of Israelite though. Like he's like over there, like he wear the black hat and, you know, dress and act just like them. The weird part about the Israeli-Palestine thing is that in war, there's innocence on both sides. When you blowing stuff up, you're not blowing up Hamas. You're blowing up the civilians that have nothing to do with the war. When you do anything to the Israelis, you're not blowing up the enemies.
That's like hitting my neighborhood and thinking everybody Paul Rose.
Exactly. And so the earth wants everybody to have all the compassion on the Israelis, but they don't want them to have any compassion on the Palestinians, which makes no sense to me because it's war. Nobody's innocent. You can't divide a land in half, displace the people that was in there, implant the Israeli people in there, and then expect them to lay down.
They brought a map. They brought a map. Remember in the room,
right?
And they were showing how much of this used to be Palestine,
right,
versus how much is just Israel. They've taken the land. And Palestinians, they were reduced to this little dot over here, right?
Yeah.
So when I first was hearing everything, I really wasn't paying any attention. It sounded like the Palestinians was doing all the stuff to people from Israel.
Right.
Until I went on Clubhouse, and actually, I went to Blue Moon, and the owner of Blue Moon, he's Palestinian. And he said, man, your friend, speaking on the wrong side. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he started showing me all this stuff. And some dude named Sean King or something. Some dude.
Tariq's got a lot to say about that.
I don't know.
I'm cool with Sean King.
Oh, you are? You cool with Sean King?
I'm cool.
So when I go to Sean King's page, right, he's showing
That's
what
the
I'm
white guy,
seeing
right?
there.
Yeah,
Wait, we're giving
they
him
say
white?
he's white. I don't know. He say he's black, but
Ain't no real proof of that though, right?
Whoever this dude is, everything that I thought it was to be,
Right.
he's showing it was the opposite. So then I started asking questions. So then they like, well, they're controlling the media. They're feeding the media. That is this, that is that is this, or is that. And I'm going to be real, quite naturally, I think stuff's been done on both sides.
That's what I'm saying. Like, neither side is innocent. It's a war. You can only fix the problem when the war is over. Unfortunately, this
Stoudemire
war
wrong
sister,
for standing with his people?
he wrong for saying if black people don't support the Israelis, fuck you. Like, we just supposed to blindly support the Israelis no matter what. That's like me telling y'all to just support me. Y'all don't know me.
Right.
If you don't know me and I tell y'all to support me and fuck you if you don't, your first instinct is to say, I'm not supporting you because you're putting me in a either ride or leave position instead of telling me why.
What you feel
And
about that, bro?
there's this desperate attempt to drag us black people into that conflict.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to do with none of it, to be honest.
And who fights in our conflict?
Right. Because the black people who are saying something, you got a lot of black people getting fired.
Right.
Whatever side
That
you
lawyer,
take.
that was a $250,000 job she lost just because she expressed an opinion that was more on the Palestinian side than the Israeli side.
Right. A sister who's a professor at a university, she said, hey, I support Palestine. Oop, you're anti-Semitic. And she lost her job. So black folks need to stay out of this bullshit, as far as I'm concerned.
Stay out of it or fight to have freedom of speech?
Well,
Which
that's
one?
a good point. That's a good point. But the thing is,
That is a
if
good
we're going to
point,
do the
actually,
freedom of
freedom of
speech thing, let it be for something that benefits black society and not these other people. My thing is, because we're fighting for freedom of speech.
A lot of us do business with people, with the Israelis.
But that's the realization that a lot of the white left-leaning liberal people in America had, is that they went all in on BLM, and now they're realizing that a lot of those people from BLM are not so friendly to your Jewish roots as you might have expected.
You talk about the Black Lives Matter movement?
Well,
I
you know, it's
hate
just
that
a lot of
movement.
like white liberals just got in bed with BLM
don't
and
like
assumed
the
that they were
Black
going to
Lives
side with them
Matter.
about everything for all
lives
time.
matter
Yeah,
kind of guy.
BLM. Okay. All lives matter, right?
I'm all lives matter. Listen. Listen.
Well, I don't like Black Lives.
Let's talk about that.
Do we have to get
I
some
come
butter
here as a-
biscuits? We got to get some butter biscuits for Wack.
I come here as a student.
We got to get some incredible butter biscuits.
Crucify me if you want. I'm gonna tell you why. If there's a football
Wack.
field,
Right.
and every 10 yards is a different race of children, I'm going to tiptoe through that football field the same way, no matter what area I'm in. I'm
That's
American.
fine. Right, that's fine.
I believe that what about like black lives are in all lives? Is it not?
If
Black lives are in all lives.
Like how? I don't get that
When I say
correlation.
all lives matter,
Black lives are contained within that. Their argument would be that, you know, nobody's ever questioned that white lives matter, but our country has a real serious history of treating black lives like they don't matter.
Well, we have a
you
system.
telling me it's
we
not
have, we
some
have
white people in this world you don't care for?
No, I mean I'm cool with some white people. We still have white
too.
supremacy.
Yeah, me
that doesn't
too.
change.
Yeah,
the
but
fact
fuck
we got,
them.
No, I mean the system is based on white supremacy. So we're in the system. It's like a jail. We can say fuck the jail, but we still in it.
And
We're
that's
in the
more
jail.
so what we be talking about. We talking about the system.
The system, right? It's not an
And
individual white
You would
person.
have to destroy the system to really get rid of white supremacy.
First
You
of all,
can't do
bro,
that.
Look, man. Y'all got to stop acting like the system in 2023 is the same system in 1820.
It's exactly the
Oh,
same.
Wack.
No, it's exactly the same.
Wack.
It's exactly the same.
It's the same system. Wack. What's,
Are you for
what's,
real?
Wack,
Yeah,
what's
what's
different?
different?
What's different?
Opportunity?
No, we had more opportunity back then.
You crazy as hell.
We have more
we did.
opportunity, less
Out of your
unemployment,
You're
Man,
out of your
more
mind.
families
Listen,
together.
Out of your mind.
Brother, in the 1800s, one of the first
do
black,
well for
one of
yourself.
the first black Israelites here in America.
You do well for
There's
yourself,
a brother
brother.
named Frank Cherry.
Frank
brother
Cherry,
had
yeah.
100 acres in Oklahoma, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
We were balling out, man, when we were coming out of slavery. They said, hey, we got to stop that. That's when they started to impose a lot of stuff, when they saw that we were creating these opportunities for
So
ourselves.
you telling me today, in 2023, the opportunities that we have, the free range we have, you telling
free range to do what, Wack?
every time I go to do something business-wise, it comes down to the information that I can put down on this application. Me personally, and I've been in some bidding wars with real estate in your backyard, in prominent areas,
Right.
right? But the information that I put down on this application says I was the best guy for the situation.
But Wack, being in the music industry, you know how it is. An Eazy-E needed a Jerry Heller to get in certain doors.
Okay.
A Dre needed a Jimmy Iovine.
Jerry Heller needed Easy.
He did.
And
he
needed both
absolutely
each
did.
other.
But with the talent that Easy and Dre had, Dre needed a Jimmy Iovine. He couldn't get in certain doors without a Jimmy Iovine because they have a system where they have a
He
code.
was in the door.
Not all the way.
He was in the door.
Not all the way.
So you're saying, but see, this is what I mean. And the all lives matter thing and the opportunity of today, right? We all, in some way, work together. I have the product, you have the machine, right?
But you're
let's
more
just
so
be
speaking
real.
like from business. Like I think the Black Lives Matter, which is like one of the worst movements I've ever heard of.
It was
because-
controlled opposition, man. It was
Well,
controlled
Out
Out of
you
every
think
10
about it,
blacks
it's
killed,
lesbians that
out of
said-
every 10 blacks killed, we killing 8 of us.
Nah, I don't know if I agree with that.
What?
Hell, that's the same number in
What?
every group.
I don't agree. with that.
We don't kill each other disproportionately than other groups, man.
Right.
Look, the
No
Asian
makeup
community-
in the street, we talking about us.
But that's like
I'm talking
reverse-
about- but
Go ahead.
any capitalistic society, there's going to be violence. We're not immune to that. We're not superheroes. You go to the Asian community, they got the Asian mafia.
No,
all
they
over
doing
the
their
place.
own thing.
Right. So we are being pointed out like we're just ultra violent, and
Like
we're
we're
not.
the only ones.
We're the only ones.
Everybody
doing it.
else,
Right.
they don't kill nobody. They don't steal. They don't do. Only
Right.
black people
so
do that.
we're
Hold on
held
one
to,
second. Hold on. I'm gonna let you speak now. I got Susan,
Okay.
the white lady you date, on the phone right now.
Date.
Now, are you gonna say you got love for all lives, or do I gotta put Susan on the phone?
I don't know no Susan.
I'm trolling it. Let's get back to
Hey,
it.
there is no
Look,
Susan. I
you
ain't
thought I
tripping.
was gonna close the brother. You thought
I knew he was
I was.
bullshitting.
Well, a Dr. Umar moment. Yeah.
I knew he was
That's
bullshit.
funny,
'Cause I
man.
don't know no Susans or no white
Hey,
women
look,
like
one
that.
thing about Wack, come
You think you're above some good white pussy? I'm
yes.
telling you, man, it's fire.
Yes. Yes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Come on, you know you didn't have sex with
Nah,
a white woman before. I'm gonna be real. I haven't had sex with a white woman.
See, now how you gonna
Not
say?
for
Now,
racist
wait,
shit.
how you gonna say you know you haven't, but I had
No,
to?
I'm gonna tell you why I haven't. When I was young, I used to watch all these crazy movies. Mississippi Burning, was it Rosewood?
Yeah.
And I
yeah,
had
that
this
movie's
thing
off
in
the
my
chain.
head that she was gonna say, he raped me. And no matter what I said,
You was going down.
I was going down. So
Right.
I have a blockage. Is white, don't do it. And you're not supposed to touch it.
What you need is a witness. I'm willing to sit
hell
in a
no.
chair in the corner.
Come on.
He gonna put you in the next movie, Wack. You gonna be in the next Adam movie.
I thought he learned his lesson fucking with them brothers.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be Wack and Crip Mac running a train on somebody in a movie. His wheels are spinning.
We all want to see that go down.
No, we
this
don't.
fucking
No, we
gang
don't.
war, my
No,
friend.
we don't. No, we don't.
He's in LA through the power of group sex. All right.
Oh, wow. Fucking Adam.
Y'all don't think that's homosexual?
No.
No.
I definitely think that's
Adam.
Like to be in the room
I
while
don't
man,
participate in
I
sword
don't.
fights.
Me
He
neither.
giving motherfuckers high fives and all that.
Nah. That's some
weird.
weird shit to me. I'm sorry. That's weird to me.
Man.
We all got our kicks.
Yo, he. I ain't gonna.
You going greatest hits mode again?
So you really think that we don't have opportunity today?
We do. We have opportunity.
But then
we
he was asking a comparison, right?
Right.
Yeah, I like-
The same opportunity as we had 100, 200 years ago, man. We're under the same system.
That's why you disagree with Martin.
Right.
Because you
I
felt
hate
like
Martin, to be perfect.
Yeah, you felt like
Martin who?
Martin Luther King.
Really? You didn't like Dr. King? Why not?
Because when you look at segregation, right? So life before segregation was better. We had our own school system, and then uppity black folks wanted white education. So now you got brown versus board education, which disannulled the black school system. If you go economically, you take, what's that? The Negro League is a good example. The Negro League, think about a baseball team, right? Take Yankee Stadium, right? Well, what's out here? The Dodgers. So take the Dodger Stadium. If you go to watch the baseball game, you're going to get hungry. So you're going to patronize the restaurants. You're going to buy the memorabilia for the people that you like. You're going to do all of that. So that's what we had with the Negro League.
Yeah.
And because we wanted to hit the white baseball, we went and the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers said he was using integration if we fought back about taking their best players. So they took Satchel Paige, Jackie Robinson, Josh Gibson. And he said, if they fight us, we'll say, don't y'all want to integrate? And so the American baseball's agenda was to destroy the Negro League. And in destroying the Negro League, you didn't just destroy the baseball team, you destroyed the surrounding
Cottage industries
businesses.
around it, right.
So when I mean by segregation, I'm not talking about no interaction with white people. That's not what I mean. But segregation is creating the same cocoon I said them Jewish people have. Jewish people have their own cities. Chinese people have their own cities. They're in their own. Jewish people have their own hospitals, fire departments. They have their own police department, and nobody says nothing. So that same cocoon is what we would have had while we were segregated. And we would still have the same problems. When we talk about in 2023, and you say the opportunities, and you say the opportunity, you say they're better, you say they're the same. I agree that they're the same, but what we lost in the opportunity is our family structure, education, and economic priority.
And going to the Board of Education, that Brown case, initially they were trying to get resources for black schools. They didn't want to integrate. They didn't want to go to white
Right.
schools. The NAACP came in, which was white run at the time.
Right.
It's still white run, by the way. They
I think it
came
was
in-
founded by them.
It was.
Right.
They had a guy named Spingard who was the president at the time. They went in and said, hey, forget the money. Let us just go to the schools. Let blacks go to schools with whites. And that never really worked because when blacks tried to go to schools, they just started putting black people in special education.
Can I give you a horror story?
Yeah.
Little Rock 9, I know you're familiar with
Oh,
that,
yeah.
right? Little Rock 9, for those that don't know, is when they took 9 black kids and sent them to Little Rock. That's that picture with Jerry Jones?
Yeah,
Y'all know that
yellow.
picture with Jerry Jones where they showing them hosing? That's in Arkansas, right? Little Rock 9, they take them 9 kids and send them to school. They send them, National Guard got to protect them. They go through hell. The lady is like maybe 25, 30 years old. They're interviewing her, and they asked her what was her experience. And she said the experience was real rough. the white kids, they used to bully me, they used to pick on me, and I couldn't fight back with them. But when I went home, I used to beat up my little brother. Because when you get oppressed, you have to channel that anger somewhere. So she channeled that anger out on her brother. Now, amplify that with black people and trying to integrate when you don't even have power to say no. As the NAACP is saying, let's go into them white schools and just go to their school. We don't have power to tell whites we don't want to learn this because we ain't established ourselves yet. We're only like 40 or 50 years removed from slavery. What power did we have? Now, if we got power to sit down at the table, like other nations have power. Even though when the towers fell, even though they so-called like war with Afghanistan, the Arabs was not profiled.
Right.
Nothing was done to them.
No, they was profiled.
Hell, where?
For a quick minute.
They was profiled.
For a quick minute.
When you go to the airport,
for a
see
quick
somebody
minute.
with the thing on.
Yeah.
Niggas was like, hey, I ain't getting on the plane.
Right.
Okay, but when I'm saying about
doing
profile, that's probably black people doing that because we
White people saw them turbans.
saw
and said,
them turbans.
Yeah, it wasn't
What I'm
easy being
saying,
Middle
it
Eastern in
wasn't
America for a
easy
few
being
years
Middle
there.
What I mean by profile is like they wasn't getting pulled over and suspected. Hey, you got a bomb in the car?
No,
like how we got guns in the car.
Okay, right.
That's what I mean when
I'm
I
with
say
you on that.
That one, that's
profile.
true.
So we lost so much in the middle of building ourselves up. Integration comes, and then now in 2023, we lost so much in that gap. That's why I say that segregation was better. It's not that we shouldn't, like we're in America, like Wack say, we're in America, so we're in a melting pot of different ethnicities. So we're gonna have to function within those ethnicities, but there should be a code of ethics that equal within those ethnicities. I shouldn't have a fair advantage over a white man just because I'm black. But he shouldn't have that same advantage over me.
Now, I agree that we should have kept a lot of things within our communities during the Jim Crow era.
Right.
The segregation thing, I understand why they fought against it because we needed to be able to move around freely because we are taxpayers. Our dollars go to fund all of these things within society. We should be able to go across state lines or wherever without having to worry about getting shot.
Like the sundown towns and stuff like that.
So I can understand why they were fighting against that. The reason why they said we'll let you guys into some of our stores because they didn't really let us into their communities. They created white suburbs and fled to there and left us in the inner cities and took the tax brackets with them. They said, you're going to have to give up all of your businesses if we're going to do this integration thing. And that was the trick bag we fell for.
Right, exactly. Giving up. Like if we could have kept it, then maybe it could have worked.
Right. And also, they would do stuff like build these freeways all over the country within our communities, LA. Central Avenue.
That 110
took a whole
lot of area.
Oh, that used to be a village?
Hell yeah.
Prosperous area. That 110 took it out. And Crenshaw, they putting that train down Crenshaw. That's destroying Crenshaw now. The 110, the 10 freeway, it goes over an area that was Sugar Hill. That was a prosperous black area. They put it there to destroy the area. So they designed.
That's not too far from what they had called the Black Beverly Hills.
Yeah, that's the same area. Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say.
Can I throw out a topic? So I think a lot of white parents in particular in America in this day and age are concerned that when they send their kid off to school, that the school is going to have been captured by some of the wacky woke ideas of the time, and that your 4-year-old kid is going to be taught by a Robin DiAngelo or a Ibram X. Kendi type character who basically is going to teach your kid to be solely obsessed with race. I have a 3-year-old daughter. I see the way that she is completely oblivious to race, and sometimes it occurs to me that until the world perverts her mind and makes her, start to think about other races that's fundamentally different, that stuff is just not going to seep into her brain. So when you bring up like critical race theory, I think, a lot of parents, maybe some of them have been kind of brainwashed by the media, but it does seem like kind of a reasonable concern that as a reaction to, traditional American racism, that a lot of, schools and institutions and stuff have just gotten to the point where they think that the cure for racism is to obsess over it and to teach kids that their identity is the most important thing about them. And I think a lot of people, white and black, find this idea kind of disturbing. So
the narrative, because I hear this from a lot of white people, we don't want our kids to get the woke knowledge. They don't need to know anything about race. It's woke CRT. And let me tell you something. I have little children, and they be on these Xbox games, and there's 4 and 5-year-old white kids yelling nigga, nigga, nigga at the top of their lungs all the time. White children are taught in the home about white supremacy. They know anti-black racism early on. So in schools, we should have a counter to that. We should talk about the black experience and how to counter anti-black racism, not to ignore it because it's being taught already. Also, the CRT thing, they say, well, it's going to teach white kids to feel guilty about themselves. For years, we've been reading about how black people were nothing but slaves, white people did everything for us, we had to beg for justice, we had to do all this, and we're taught inferiority in schools all the time. So we should have a counter to teach that stuff.
But I definitely agree that we shouldn't be teaching kids that black people were inferior or slaves or whatever. Like, I feel like if anything, we should be teaching kids that they are not guilty of the sins of their fathers and that your racial group, that you shouldn't be held liable for things that happened hundreds of years ago.
You know what else we've been doing?
Right. But history is history. If you tell history,
But guess what they've been doing?
Right. But if
These dummies,
history.
these dummies, right? If you go ask your nieces and nephews, the stuff we was taught, the little stuff we was taught in school, they don't teach it anymore. And then they over here advocating to have these statues taken down. They're letting them erase it.
Right.
So if these statues are down, you're not teaching it in school. The parents are at home working 2 jobs because the cost of living is crazy, right? The children being raised, they know nothing about how we were oppressed.
Right.
Keep them statues up. Mommy, what's
I
that?
think they
That's
should
Robert
stay
E.
up
Lee.
too.
He
Right.
was a goddamn plantation owner. What's a plantation? That's where they had the slaves. People that look like me or you, and they forced them to do this, that, and another. They are allowing them to strategically erase it. And we sitting here saying, yeah, take down the statues.
Yeah, but the thing
That's
is,
a part of American history.
But are they going to put up a statue of Farrakhan and say, "Hey, we're going to keep that
They're
statue up"?
not going up. That's not going up.
Right.
They're not. But so
Because
why?
they know that it sends a certain message. You put up a statue of somebody, that's an honor.
It's already
You're
up.
honoring somebody.
But it's up.
But the thing is, if you're putting up a statue of a white supremacist, because that's what these statues
Okay.
are built for,
That's cool.
to honor white supremacy, what's the message you're trying to send if you're going to put that statue up?
So what did we just erase? See, the way you looking at it is how they want us to see it. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
taking
it's
it
like-
down, you're right, it's wrong. But now that they took it down, there is never a conversation or a thought to our youth that what this man was, what he represented, because he's
When
just,
we're taking it down, we can tell them why we're taking it down.
But
we
we're
can
not
just
doing
do
after
that.
it's taken
Well,
down,
you know
but
we're not doing that.
I agree. But after it's taken down, what policies are being put in place for the crimes of the fathers? Like if today's white folk want black folk to look at it better, you have to make amends for it. I'm going to use the Jewish people again. The Jewish people, part of the reason they divided Palestine in half is because after what Hitler did to them, they didn't want to leave them people there because of the traumatic event. Yet 2 million, they say 2 million Jews, 2 million or 6 million? 6 million Jews, they say died because of the Holocaust. So of course, you're not going to leave them in Germany. We got to put them somewhere else so that they can get over this traumatic event. Whereas the white people in America want us to forget and not talk about race, but they have done nothing for us to get over such a traumatic event. So they don't want us to talk about it. They want to erase the statues. They don't want to change no policies, but they're not doing anything for accountability. And that's what presents the greatest problem for us in America. It's like you want us to get over the mounds and mounds and mounds and mounds of oppression that you put over us, but you've done nothing to take the mound away.
Right.
So I think if we can get to that point, then maybe the Israelites won't be as mad at y'all, because then we ain't gonna have no talking points now. But y'all refuse. When I'm saying y'all, not you, of course. But white people refuse to take accountability. They just want words. They just want to remove the statue so your memory. In some history books, they don't call it the transatlantic slave trade. They call it the transatlantic migration.
Right. They're trying to.
So in a minute, ain't gonna be no slavery.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying?
In a minute, we gonna be battling against we wasn't slaves in America.
It's important to push back on that because what happens is they start making it seem like, well, slavery wasn't that bad, and not only was it not bad, it helped y'all niggas.
Yeah.
So it gets into that type of thing because
benefited
that's what they're
coming
saying
over
in
here.
Florida. They're trying to say that we benefited
Florida,
from slavery.
right.
You know, so now that gets into dangerous territory.
Right.
I mean, is it a lie?
Oh, Wack.
But to you with the children, To
No,
use the
bro.
Whack.
Wait, before
Hold on.
wait.
Hold on. Whack.
Is it a
Wait,
lie?
it's better.
Whack. Did
I
we
didn't say better.
Okay.
I said, is it a lie?
Did we benefit from slavery, Whack?
Is it a lie?
Did we benefit from slavery, Whack?
Slavery was horrific.
You explaining, Whack?
Listen, a horrific thing that happened to our people.
Did we benefit?
And I say this,
Whack is
and I'm talking to the people that are still participating in some of the things I used to participate in.
Right.
Our people went through these things.
Right.
They went through them from the worst to segregated times. They went through these things, right? For us to get to where we're at today. Right? Am I right?
They sacrificed.
It's sacrifice, right? So, where we're at today, right? You don't think that had to happen for us to get here because of how we was brought here? See, you said we was already here.
Yeah, many of us were already here.
Okay, so then I guess they kind of took control and did what they wanted to do with us, right?
Right.
So you don't think all these things had to happen for us to be where we're at today? For you to even have the...
That's not a benefit. That was something that we had to create on our own. The Foundation of Black Americans. Nobody ever gave us anything. Other groups came over here and benefited right off the rip. The
They
minute
just
they
gave
got
us
off the
opportunity.
boat.
They gave eventually.
Well, hell, we had to take the
We had to go.
opportunity.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, let's be real. Everything that we created was something that
Wasn't given, it was forced.
We had to do it because
There was
of
a
force.
movement behind
Even
it.
like with hip hop music, man, that was because of deprivation. We couldn't go to music schools. We couldn't go to dance schools. We couldn't afford instruments. So hell, let's go to the park,
the crates, get the
and just
buckets.
hit buckets, and just
But
do
even,
it.
even with that, that's why the Birdmans, and I don't really fuck with him, but the Suge Knights, the Master P's, the Irv Gottis, that's why they were like very important.
Right.
Because at one time, they were paying guys 30 cents. I remember seeing an alcoholic check. You know, J. Rose from appointment. It was like, there were literally 3 of them breaking up 30 cents.
Damn.
But guys like Birdman and Slim and Suge turned that 30 cents into 30%.
Okay.
And since then, it has risen.
Right.
In some cases, like Birdman, 80, 85. Me personally, I've never been nothing less than 50%.
Okay.
Right? So you're right. And it took Suge going in there, the way he went in there, demanding how he demanding, for them to say, okay, these Negroes finna start acting crazy, man. They, you know, let's give them what they want. We already making trillions, you know.
Right.
So I get that. You're right.
Right.
You're right. You're right on that.
But I would never say we better because of slavery, because we would have to just look at our living conditions prior to see. I was debating this white guy. He said, I asked him, he asked a similar question. I said, well, can you explain to me how we was better? And he said, a 2-story building and flushable toilet water, like having that system. He said that made it better for us. And it's weird when you say that because it's almost they're almost desensitized to what our culture, way of life, or lifestyle was prior to colonization. So you would have to ask the people before they were colonized, do we need to be colonized to see if it was better? Because to endure colonization, there's a lot of murder, raping, slaving, killing. It's a whole lot that comes with everything that we have here today. So in today's times, it's hard to fathom it because, of course, we got vehicles, we got technology, we got all this real water, if you want to call it that, instead of faucet water. So, of course, in our mind, we say, nah, it's better now. But you would have to put us in that time where there wasn't no technology. There wasn't a movement like you see now, and then see if it was better. And I wouldn't think it was better.
Right, and black people were bringing a lot of technological advances to Europe. You had the Moors, and they brought in the science and mathematics and architecture there.
Absolutely.
So the benefit was other people benefiting from the things that black people were bringing to the table.
And which really, we should, I know you were going to say something, but which really, all races should be able to come together for that economic benefit. It
American way.
It shouldn't be, no, American way is the Europeans dominate everybody else, take your shit, and then we set precedents what you get.
The American way of today.
That's the same American way.
And that's all
of
coming
today.
together, what you was about to say.
What I was going to say was we should be able, all races should be able to come together economically, whatever resources you have, build them together, and then if all four of us represent different ethnicities. If you go empower yours, it shouldn't be a big deal. No. If I empower mine, if you empower yours, but it shouldn't be at the expense of me doing harm to you.
No, you're right.
For that's the only difference that I would see.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but even the Bible, the Bible, the religious people, they taught
religion and the Bible different.
They taught that violence was the way.
Nah, that's why I said religion and the Bible. It ain't been
more killings. The most killings ever in the history of the world is religious wars.
Absolutely, because see what they take with the Bible. You got them Christian thumpers, the Muslims, they take that Bible and it's like, believe in this God or you die. That's not in the Bible. The God of the Bible never said, kill these people for not believing in me. Never said that. But Christians or the Crusades would push it in that way. Like, if you want to talk about historically, Christians like the worst murderers ever. They killed Christ too. I mean, I can go on and on. So when it comes to Christianity, yes. But when it comes to the Bible, no. The Bible would be the solution for everything.
They just don't follow it. They put their own twist to it.
They put their own twist to it, correct. And Islam does
selective
the same thing.
politicking.
Exactly.
It's a lot of that goes on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so
whoever
we need
gets the popularity vote.
Whoever got the greatest sword. You got the greatest sword, you can set precedents.
He's got a hell of a sword.
What the fuck you mean?
I've heard.
Because you be saying some weird shit.
Nigga, Adam trying to get you in a movie.
What you talking about?
Put you in the trick bag.
He's trying to get you in the
I don't want to go down that road.
Halloween's here, trick or treat.
Yeah.
He's talking about the bag of candy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all go down that road, man. I don't mind the road, but
I've been trying to spare him.
I see because it's like 2 times now.
No, bro, like, Adam, I'm gonna tell you. Me and your wife, before it was your wife, we used to date, bro.
Really? I'm okay with that.
I'm not giving you no details.
That's just fine.
I'm not giving you no details.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah, I'm not, she was cool people. And, that's why when we ran into each other and you acted like you were introducing us.
I knew there was something going on there, yeah. All right, I have a question. There's a guy, Coleman Hughes, is a black guy who did a TED Talk recently, and I guess they almost didn't put it out because the theme of the TED Talk was colorblindness. He's basically just advocating for a world in which race is less of a factor, in which we advocate for people to identify with their race less, and basically saying that if we want society to truly prosper, we basically have to get as far past race as possible. And the TED Talk committee or whatever.
Yeah, so he really wants people to stop crying about reparations.
Well, but he's basically saying, but he was treated.
He wants people to stop crying about reparations.
He was treated like this was like full on hate speech by the TED Talk, committee or whatever.
No, I know who Coleman Cruz is. I know who he is.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah. What do we think of this mentality, and do we agree?
No, I'm an American.
Because as white people, we're very much encouraged to not emphasize or be proud of or take any kind of identity with our whiteness, right? So it's like he's basically extending that to the rest of the world.
Being white.
Right? Oh, you saying when you say take no identity of whiteness, you mean not be proud to be white? Like what is that?
UFC fighter Cain Velasquez, he has a huge tattoo across his chest that says brown pride.
Okay.
And
so y'all don't do
hard not to think that if it was a white guy and it said white pride, it would be viewed very, very differently.
Okay,
what's white pride?
It definitely has a bad brand, that's for sure.
See, that's the thing. Whenever y'all start saying white pride or what, somebody has to die. Then all of a sudden, somebody's going to die.
So you can put black pride, brown pride,
right?
But then white pride means something negative.
Black pride, it ain't violent. It's just like, hey,
it's not violent, and it's a counter.
Right, it's a counter. Right, it's a counter.
So are you saying some white people can't be prideful for being white and not be saying I'm identifying.
Who are you sending the message to? Right. Because we already know you dominate us. So who's oppressing you? Who's the message for?
Yeah,
to themselves.
They already know. So when they say white pride, that's letting other people know something else. White pride means, hey, we got to get on code against somebody.
Hey, white people don't even have to say white pride.
Right.
Meaning,
that's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you why. They say it by that very Negro League that I was talking about. You know how they say white pride? Jackie Robinson and all of them left to go hit that baseball because they wanted acceptance.
We cried too much.
No, hear what I'm saying?
Our people cry too much.
If you take 300 years of oppression And during that 300, and during that 300 years, I ain't falling for it. But during that 300 years, right? Black people are told we come from monkeys, we apes, we don't know nothing. So black pride stems from the results of white pride. So now we have to tell people, like they tell blacks invented this. Black was the first heart surgery. You know why they saying that? Because in history, black people are taught we didn't do nothing. So we have to instill black pride into black children. White folk don't need pride instilled in them because they're not taught that they didn't do anything.
There are new white kids born every day.
And they born, their brain functions that I know it.
Why can't they be taught to have white pride?
They're taught
as if our kids are taught to have black pride.
You're taught that every day as a white kid by the privileges and the advantages and benefits you get as a white person.
Hold on. My daughter ain't never had a sidewalk in front of her house. I'm just being real. So she was privileged and had advantages.
But the norm for the black community is bricks in front of it or abandoned house next. You can't go to this store because if you go to this store, you might get shot. You gotta go to that store.
Are we scared that if they say white pride, that something's gonna happen?
I don't think it's a matter of are we scared if they say it. It's just an unnecessary trope to actually say.
But we can say it. But they can't.
Ours is a counter. Ours is to uplift. Like black people, like the black man's been beaten down to powder. And so how do you build him up? You have to inspire him. You know, when they tell stories of like the wars that they won and conquered this and they have Memorial Day and stuff like that, we don't have those days.
I believe all people should have the opportunity to be prideful of who they are. Armenian pride.
Right.
Brown pride, which represents the Latin brothers. Black pride, white pride. I mean, everybody's not on.
So what are you proud of? What are you taking pride in?
Of being a white man.
Okay. What does being a white person mean?
That's not what a black person is taking pride in.
We're not just saying we're
black. Not taking pride in just being black. We're taking pride in recognizing the accomplishments that black people have done.
Right. Like we created music.
So if a person wants to be a doctor, and all they was taught was that only white people were doctors or Arabs were doctors. And we could show them, no, these black people were doctors. It's inspiring. When white children grow up, their inspiration is drawn from the history they know of their ancestors. We don't have a glorified history to draw from unless we teach it. So our pride is drawn from that. That's where it comes from. So now when you learn, that's what's so important about black schools not getting destroyed, because then we would have never lost. We would have no need for black pride.
So when people won the Olympics and they sat up there on the podium and put that black fist in there,
that's right.
How did that make you feel?
That was inspiring.
Okay, so why, if a Caucasian individual was standing on the podium, that same fist couldn't be inspiring to their people?
Who's oppressing him? Why is his fist up?
Why are we even talking about oppression? It was a goddamn race.
What does the fist symbolize in that moment?
Power.
But
that's what.
It's symbolized. But it's symbolized.
Black power. Am I right?
That's what it symbolized. Because during that time, there was a master race. And we were the inferior race.
We talking about motherfucking race over at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's
ain't no master.
I thought you saw about that picture when the brother put the.
But still, that was still.
That's during the time where we're supposed to be inferior.
So you saying today
they don't do that?
Only a Hispanic or black can be prideful of who they are? Is that what you're saying?
In I forget where it was.
Are you saying only a Hispanic or black can be prideful of who they are?
Well, the dominant society, they're already prideful about who they are.
They know already. So they're the only one that can say it or symbolize it.
No, I'm not saying that.
When a white person does it, it's negative.
Because what are they doing it for? Usually when somebody emphasizes their whiteness.
What are you doing it for, a white guy?
What if I said, I'm very, very proud of being Italian or French? That's like a lot less offensive, right? Because it's like a much more specific group of people.
That's not a problem.
Whereas like me feeling some sort of unity with like some guy from Poland, which I don't. But it's like, what the fuck do I have in common with him besides the fact that our skin colors are close together,
so
right?
that's more so. See how he was specific.
Right.
So even when the black pride is usually followed up by specifically what they're prideful for. If they're prideful for an accomplishment, because now you can teach that to the children. Black children need something to look to. So we have to instill that pride for them to look up and look up to.
And the pride is based on something
like
that was done
That's
by
not
somebody
a
within the
babysitting
lineage.
because, listen, Jewish people keep their history. Whites keep their history. 4th of July is inspiring. When the rockets, red glare, we knew that our flag was still there. That's inspiring.
The bomb bursting.
Yeah,
In there.
damn right.
Came back to that one.
He's know that one.
I just inspired him. So now,
I saw a tear in his eye.
Wack was saying that at a MAGA rally some goddamn way. He was at a MAGA rally saying that same shit.
He said he's voting for Trump.
Right.
I'm gonna be real.
Right.
Yeah, definitely for Trump. Trump gonna get the economy back right. So listen, as a businessman,
you know,
and I'm
Trump
not
is
mad
the
at
proof
Trump.
that a white man could be a criminal and still run for president.
No, that's the rules, bro. If Obama was in the situation and it was the same thing, that'd
That's
let him,
cap.
bro.
That's cap.
You know, for one, Obama ass should have never been in there anyway.
At
He only
all.
won
Right.
because he was
Obama
black.
did nothing for
we
black
voted for him
people.
because he
Yeah.
was black.
Yeah.
He went in there and approved
messed it up.
same-sex marriage and all
Oh
kind of
my
goddamn.
God, yeah. He
Right?
was a detriment to
So
black
that
people.
was, you know, what he did.
Right.
But what I'm saying is this: I feel like, and maybe I feel like that where we're at today, that our people could hit the same playing field, and we could win. I feel like that. Maybe
if you take all races at the
I
same
think we can
playing
win,
field,
or we can be competitive.
it'd be a landslide. We would
I
win.
think we can be competitive. So I'll be like, yo, listen, stop using this, using that. If we win, we win. If we fell short, we fell short. But I think we're very competitive. I think we're in position as far as our relationships with everybody overall in business.
Right.
Right. I look at people like the LeBron James and even the Kanyes and
Yeah, I love
I
Kanye.
look at certain people and see how they move and how they do business. The Nick Cannons, a
Right.
very quiet but very successful brother,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I look at these kind of people, the Floyd Mayweathers. You know, a lot of them skyscrapers over there, he in business.
Yeah.
He in
Yeah, I
business
think,
in
like,
New
you
York,
know,
right?
yeah,
So I
yeah.
look at these people and I say, you guys will say, well, we just need to do business with each other. I'm like, no.
We don't say
Let
that.
our
No,
people
no,
hit the playing field
Right.
and do the business they need to do
I don't believe that.
as a black man
Right.
and, or woman, right? And then we tally it up. I just like at today's time, I don't want them to say, well, you only got there because of affirmative action.
No, I
No,
don't agree.
fuck
right,
that.
right.
Stop
See, I
giving us
agree.
handouts.
Right.
Right. So
Because
like
I
what?
think we can compete.
Right. So like, Wack, you know, I got my business. I tell you all the time. So I have a body butter and oil business for like 4 years. It's pretty
shit's
successful.
crazy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I actually got some here for you, and,
Oh, good.
and
My
yeah, I
man,
got
my
some
man.
in here right
I'm
here.
dry as fuck. That sounds great.
No, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I can show you real
It's- yo,
real
Alex,
fast.
it's crazy.
Like, you can smell
I
it
can't
if you
front.
want.
I can't
Smell
front.
it
It's
if you
crazy.
want. Wait, this for women hard.
I had to get on him.
Oh, good.
All you
Good.
Israelites,
He did.
this
He did.
power rule
He did.
had to get on the
Yeah.
Israelite
Damn, hold on.
to put his
That's-
stuff
that's
on
the woman.
Amazon,
That's the
goddammit.
woman.
Oh, yeah, give me-
Okay?
Yeah.
I know some of y'all think I ain't worth nothing, but my one West cat,
Sounds good.
you know,
Yeah.
he tend to listen to me a little
I do.
bit.
Look, he the reason I got on him. He brought. So I've been on Etsy for like 3 years, and then Wack was like, "Why you ain't get on Amazon?" And I had tried it before and then stopped. But once he
I
said
said, "Oh,
it,
you a quitter?" I started saying shit. I know how to make cat
so once he
rules.
said it, I said, "Damn, why didn't I get on Amazon?" So I got on Amazon, trademarked the name, and then I sell on Amazon and stuff now too.
Oh, good.
But now, in dealing with Amazon, I got to deal with other races. The product that I get comes from other races. So I'm never saying that we shouldn't do business
course.
with each other, but there also has to be a sense of loyalty that we have to each other economically, which we don't have. Like the dollar runs out. Like you can't, that whole terminology about the dollar leaving the black community, you're never going to defeat that because we don't run like electricity, internet, and stuff like that. But from a business perspective, we should support each other a little more. I think that's where we kind of fail. So no, I'm not saying we shouldn't do business with other nations, but we should have some sense of loyalty to each other at the
Absolutely,
same
I
time.
totally agree with that. Back to the thing about Coleman Cruz. Now, Coleman Cruz, you know, he's Puerto Rican. He's not even foundational Black American.
Oh.
and he's employed by these little white supremacist think tanks. So they give him talking points and they push him out there.
Right.
He went to one of the reparations hearings to talk against reparations. So he's a puppet of white supremacy. So I don't take anything he says seriously.
I got to look into all that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Coleman Cruz. So he
Coleman Hughes is his real
His
name,
middle
right?
name is Cruz.
Oh.
Coleman
he
Cruz
saw
Hughes.
Cruz. That's why I was like,
Yeah.
I thought you were just
When you say
clowning him.
Cruz, I
No,
didn't
no,
think
no,
you-
no, no,
okay.
no. That's his real name. He hides his real last
real
name.
name is
Yeah, he's Puerto
Oh,
Rican.
his last name is Cruz.
Cruz.
is his
Okay.
daddy
Yeah.
Puerto Rican?
I don't know. He's Puerto Rican. I know that.
Yeah, well, Puerto Ricans is all right with me, but
They're cool,
but
but
long
we're
as
not
they
from
ain't
the-
saying no
Shout out
stupid
to
stuff.
Puerto
Yeah,
Rico.
right.
As
Yeah.
long as they ain't breakdancing.
My guy Hefe. Shout out to my guy
Man, they need
Hefe.
to break that.
Hefe, my guy Hefe
But
from Puerto
he's not-
Rico.
Okay,
That's
okay,
family.
okay.
We got
But
some
He's
good
not.
Puerto
He's,
Ricans
as
around
a
here.
Puerto Rican dude, he's not qualified for reparations here. So he
I get
shouldn't
what
be,
you're
he
saying
shouldn't be
from a
speaking
reparation
right from a
perspective.
Oh, you're
reparations
talking
standpoint.
about for the U.S.
Right,
Gotcha.
right. Because he's not even qualified in speaking on
You
reparations.
think that'll ever happen?
It'll happen.
What,
It's gonna happen.
reparations?
Reparations. Yeah.
You think
But
that'll
it's going to
happen?
have so many restrictions on it.
Oh no, that's why we got it on the grassroots. We got to stand on it. It's going to happen because look, man, they're already paying a form of reparations and containing us. The police, they give these people billions of dollars to keep us subjugated. Reparations are already being thrown out the window. It has to be given to us directly. You understand?
Gotcha.
What about you guys getting the vaccines early? That was reparations, right?
Shit.
I ain't took a shot. I
Well,
knock on
they were
wood,
saying
man.
that. You know they were saying that.
Right, I remember.
Yeah, they
How's
were
the
saying.
vaccine
I feel like they offended everybody with that.
Yeah, they were
White
like,
people were
this is like
pissed, but
reparations. You guys get
nobody.
the shots first. I'm like, what the fuck?
Turns out we don't want
I
it.
didn't know that. I didn't know they said that.
We don't want them.
Right.
I didn't even know they said that.
Yeah,
That,
Captain Tazaryach, what is the name of your product?
Oh, thanks, man. So I have these oils too. These are men oils. I'm gonna leave these.
That body butter is amazing.
These are
I'm about
body
to
butter. I also sell it for women too. So this is a body butter that'll replace your lotion.
Don't you got a Love and R&B body butter too?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. We're supposed to finalize that too. As
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
to
Let's get that
rocking
going.
and rolling. But I have this on my website, callgas.com. You can find me on Amazon. I can sell it. I brought this here for No Jumper, for Wack, and Tariq.
man.
So
Oh,
and it's for
man.
men
It's
and women to
amazing.
get y'all in the game with the women.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, definitely.
called
Yo,
God tier
Adam, it's
right
amazing.
there.
Yo, Adam, listen. Don't go using that on no freaky shit, bro.
I know.
But if you want to,
But-
just promote it.
Listen, okay, so
What's
you
the
got
name of it
Adam,
again, Cal?
Adam Call Gas. That's which one?
No,
is
what's
that?
the name of your company?
That's the name of the company, Call Gas.
Call Gas.
Call Gas is the name of the company. I sell the body butters for men and women. This is for women.
Oh,
You
great.
can rub that, do your thing on the.
Adam gonna rub that on the brother's back while he's smashing later.
This looks perfect for his head.
Did you say that?
Get over here.
Did he just say he gonna recruit you, Wack?
Rub it on the man.
How come when he say crazy shit, you laugh? You be wanting to fight me. He just said he gonna rub.
I'm super used to you. I only see him once in a while. Hey, I know people are going to be asking, what particular meaning is there behind the gauntlets or whatever
Okay,
you
so
call
in the
them?
Bible it says that we wore like apparel. So we wear like the armbands, we wear the headpieces or war scarves, we wear fringes on our pants because for us this is how the children of Israel dressed biblically. So when we go out and do the work, that's how we dress.
The cops ever give you a hard time about that?
Yeah, do they ever trip? that?
Only when we try to get in certain spaces. They might say because of the spikes on there, they try to say something, but on the street we've never had a problem.
It would be a pretty good weapon, though.
For real.
Yeah, I mean,
When I see
that's real
videos
talk.
of y'all making white people cry when y'all debate
get on their boots and on their knees and
that's
kiss
the-
the feet.
that's the
yeah,
fun-
we
wait,
make
Wait,
it.
ever.
hold on. What kind of y'all can't,
That's
y'all
the
can't
funniest shit
condemn
ever.
it on one side
Yeah.
and then glorify it on the other.
They be saying they sorry, so like we'll be out there speaking.
They're telling the truth.
Yeah, we come out there and we say, "Are you sorry for what your ancestors did?" And they say, "Yes." They say, well, "Are you willing to show by example you sorry?" They say, "Yes." They say, "Okay." Well, the Bible say you got to get on your knees and kiss the feet or the boots of those Israelites, and they get on their knees and kiss the boot.
I do not condone.
Look at what not me. Yeah.
don't know what's going
Listen, that's inspiring because, like, when a crowd of black
on. Hear
people
this?
see,
You gonna say something? Stop being a punk and say something.
I mean,
Adam.
if some weak cuck white boy wants to kiss the fucking boot, he can kiss the boot. I ain't going, but
You ain't going.
I mean, everybody,
going. Yeah.
the Robin DiAngelos of the world can do whatever they want.
Yeah, Adam, you gotta say something, bro. I know you want to be black and all
I'm a
that.
different kind of white boy, you know? The Peckerwood, as you said.
Well, that's what they call themselves in prison.
I know, but
They
I'm
call themselves
trying to keep
Peckerwoods.
that energy out here, you know?
Yeah, goddamn, like that's crazy. I think, you know what?
What's up?
That would scare me.
If you saw it, if you was
walking
black
up
and saw it,
and I was walking down the street, and I seen a white person kneeling, going to kiss your feet, I'm the other way. I'm out. I don't want no part of the conspiracy or nothing was going on. I'm out.
Nah, that's inspiring because like
for real,
I'm out. Black people
Adam,
to see
that would
white
scare the
people
shit out of
actually
me.
showing and expressing a remorse for what their ancestors did. That's actually inspiring.
My answer is from France. I don't think they had anything.
The French ain't never don't they got the French quarters in New Orleans?
Wasn't everybody enslaving each other back in the day?
Oh, no, not like the French.
Wait,
the French,
they wasn't everybody
dudes.
enslaved.
Oh, down in New Orleans, yeah.
They was raping men.
Hell yeah.
What, you
The
know,
French was
breaking
real
bull,
big on
you
that.
know,
Things
buck
like-
breaking and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they
You
were
know,
buck breaking like crazy down in
I
New
bet.
Orleans.
Yeah, them French people. They
I don't know,
wild,
bro.
too.
I'm just from Pacoima. The homies didn't let none of this shit go on.
I mean, don't we all kind of internally believe that France is a somewhat zesty country?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
A lot of limp
But you're
wrists,
not zesty though,
berets.
right?
Not I. No, but they got a lot of berets, a lot of limp wrists. They drink like little cups of tea. I don't know. It's not for me.
You've been to France before, right?
Yeah.
Paris and shit, I know.
Oh, that too, yeah.
Did you go to Versailles?
I don't think so.
No, the probably got to go check out
That shit's
Versailles.
popping. That shit's
crazy.
popping.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, wait, maybe. I forget it. Yeah. Okay.
Look, bro, don't front just because the Negro been somewhere you ain't been.
No, I've been all over France. I can't really remember which parts. Oh, all right.
You ain't been to Versailles. That's cool. Like, don't, you know, times done changed.
You ever been to Cannes?
The where?
Cannes?
I've been in the Cannes Penitentiary.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck you mean I've been in the Cannes? Of course I've been in the Cannes.
You got a hell of a can on you, too.
The
Pause. We gonna say pause. We definitely gonna say
See, now
pause.
that right there is-
That's a pause moment.
That's how we divide and conquer.
See that? That right there? That's why they
privilege.
don't want y'all to say white power.
That's privilege. I'm not
y'all-
trying
No,
to say
you know,
white
you know
power.
what? Like that's like the difference. Like the way white men joke and black men joke is
Yeah.
like
Two
white men
totally
can't
different
joke.
jokes.
Black
We're the
men
odd
can't
couple.
joke like that.
Odd couple.
No, I ain't fucking.
No.
Well, I thought I was gonna do it. I was looking to see.
No, but you right. You know what? They come up different. They joke like that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
joke
yeah.
different. You ever see that movie True Lies when Bill Pullman is talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger about Jamie Lee Curtis, and he says, "Ass like a 12-year-old white boy." And when I saw the movie,
But hold on, you can't put that on just him.
I know what
Freddie
you're gonna say. I knew
Roosevelt.
he was gonna say that.
Freddie
When I said it, I
Roosevelt
knew he was
on
gonna
the
say that.
Roosevelt on Clubhouse said,
Yeah.
The 50-year-old woman had ass like a 13-year-old girl.
But at least he said girl. Now, I ain't condoning what Freddie said, of course. That was off. But I'm pointing out how, like, y'all could make them type of jokes. We don't think about those type
But
of
this is a recent thing that the black community has lost, I think, because back in the 90s, Biggie could say, she looks so good, I'll suck on her daddy's dick.
Yeah.
Hilarious, funny motherfucker. How has that been
I can't-
erased
I
from the
can't-
culture,
I don't know
right?
why
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't know
heard
why.
this 2 weeks
we
ago.
was just talking about that.
I lost $200.
Yeah.
They said, yo, Wack,
Yeah.
Biggie was a bisexual rapper. I said, you got me fucked up.
I ain't going that
I ain't
far.
going that far,
But he
man.
did
No,
say
this is what
but
they said.
Yeah.
So I
He
bet
was
one
funny
dude-
as fuck.
No, I bet one dude $50. So I should have known something because 4 or 5 of them, I got 50. What bad?
Well, you know what?
They press play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what tripped me out is I've been listening to this music 20-something
But
years.
never paid attention
and
to
I
it.
never
But
caught
here's
He
it.
the
do
thing,
say
here's
some
the-
questionable stuff.
Biggie
though.
did that based on a Richard Pryor joke.
Right, but
Richard Pryor did a
was-
joke that
yeah,
said
exactly,
that
yeah.
was from a Richard Pryor.
That's
joke.
one song.
So I give him that. I'll
That's
give
one
him-
song.
He did it again.
It's 3 or 4.
Oh shit! I
Yeah.
ain't know
No,
that
he
now.
says,
played,
my,
he
my,
said,
my
I'll
dudes
fuck
will kidnap
RuPaul.
kids, fuck them in the ass, and throw them over the bridge.
He said, I fuck
He said, I'll
RuPaul.
fuck RuPaul before I fuck them ugly ass escape bitches.
Oh damn! Okay, shit. All right,
That's funny, too.
I don't know what he said. Okay, damn.
Listen, I lost
funny as
money.
hell, but
Hey, brother, I ain't the one
pause.
said it. I lost the damn money.
But I ain't gonna go as far as say he was
He's
bisexual,
bisexual,
but
yeah.
them some bars that
Some very
And
questionable.
then I
real questionable
said,
shit.
well, the West Coast don't move like that.
Right.
They press play on MC Ren.
What'd he say?
Oh shit!
Oh, what
did
MC Ren say? What-
Some shit about the 14-year-old got head from the 14-year-old. He got head from, we get the head from a 14. He said the shit. They played it on NWA. And I'm telling myself, how in the fuck did I miss all this?
You remember Ren had a case back in the day because
Right. He definitely, but he said it.
Ren is the homie.
If you really spend some time with Eazy-E's discography, there's some fucking wild shit in there.
It is
Not from Easy,
Yeah.
though.
Yes.
Out of
Well,
Easy's mouth,
I'm not saying some
we ain't
gay
doing
shit,
that.
but
Not out for me.
he does have one
for me,
song
Zeke.
that was kind of like later
Shout
on
out
in
to
his
Lil
career
Easy.
where he's basically rapping about doing a bank robbery and then taking the teller out back and going to fuck her / rape her since this is a bank robbery, right? And
No.
she has
You're
a
assuming
dick,
that.
And he shoots the dick
You're
off.
assuming that. I ain't gonna let you get that off on Easy.
He says the bitch
No.
had a dick, quote unquote.
No, hold on. If he says I'm gonna take the teller in the back to fuck her, he's saying the teller might be so turned on by my gangster, she might give me some pussy. You're not finna do Easy like
If you're robbing a bank and you fuck someone in the course of robbing the bank, I'm pretty sure that falls into the rape
that. No,
category.
definitely doesn't. You're assuming that. I ain't letting you get
I don't
that
feel
off.
like the teller has a lot of
Lil
choice
Weezy, I
in
got
this
your
moment.
back. Even though your sister don't like me, whoever she is, she be talking crazy about me on my DM. Lil Weezy, I got your back.
He shot the dick off in the song.
So then the woman was a man.
No, that's a gun, weirdo.
What?
Yeah. You
it
never
sound
heard
like
Blueface say, I got 2 dicks?
Yeah, I do like that.
That's because most black people keep their gun in their waistband. So when he say, I got 2 dicks, one of them, he's talking about the barrel of the gun. Fuck, white guy, you catch up.
Yeah.
I think you're taking some leaps here.
Proof.
Okay, I gotta go do porn. What are you guys doing?
Damn.
He ain't lying.
Yeah.
He got the people waiting in the
run
back.
up outta here.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah,
male
yeah.
or female?
Female.
All right.
I'm glad I have to
Never been
assure
a male,
you
right?
this.
Oh, okay.
So listen, man. Today,
Let me go. I don't want to step on something that's weird and slippery on the floor.
I started looking around.
no,
right
no, no,
away.
no, no,
You definitely don't want to be around this guy.
no, I don't go back there. I went back there on accident and see lockers and handcuffs and chains and beds. He got
I remember
a bed
that
and phone.
episode. I remember that
Yeah, I don't know
episode.
what's going on.
We got some dude trapped in a cage.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
It's like Pulp Fiction.
Is it the black dude you got in the cage?
you can't tell. He's got a gimp suit on.
Gimp
Buck
suit.
breaking up in here.
What is a gimp suit?
It's like an all-black suit that covers your face and your whole body. You ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, I saw Pulp Fiction. Don't.
Yeah, because that fucking huge black dude ends up.
Oh, he talking about Vin Rings.
Yeah, your man's.
Who?
Bing
I
Rain.
fuck with Vin Rings.
Didn't you manage him at one point?
No, that's Big U managed
Oh,
him.
whoops.
Oh, wow.
Big U managed him.
Okay, right,
and
right.
Gilly was on a bunch of movies. The Animal series, the Animal 1,
Right,
2,
yeah,
and
yeah,
3.
yeah. I remember the animal series.
Nipsey was on one of them too. Mm-hmm. Nipsey was on one. Wacko was on one too.
I think gangbanging would have a better image if it was more like Pulp Fiction.
You think so?
Just driving around in
ain't
an old
catching up?
car, wearing suits and shit.
Yo, listen, man.
Had a good vibe.
This week you on the Adam and Wack show, Wack and Adam show, no jumper, and we got 2 very special guests.
That's right.
Tell them who you are.
I'm Captain Tazaryach of ICBK under Commander General Yohana.
And I'm Tariq Nasheed, film director, activist, player from the Himalayas.
There we go. And shout out to my boy Sir Major. He helped me bring this together. That's love.
Yeah, and let us know what else you want to see discussed and other guests
Yeah.
that you want to see come on. Maybe we could run this back again sometime.
Yeah, man.
I
Tell
mean,
Richard
get-
Spencer get
tell
some
the
heart.
dude stop. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Rich, man,
Hey,
come
Rich,
on,
stop
man.
running, man.
Stop running. It's just
You
a
can bring
conversation.
5 of your people, man.
Like,
We ain't tripping.
what do you think we go? Maybe he see Adam survive. We didn't touch Adam. We laughed with Adam. Now he can feel he'll
I
be
feel like
safe.
you would get along with Richard Spencer to such an extent that you might be kind of uncomfortable with it.
Nah.
Listen, tell him that.
You're both identitarians.
Yeah.
Why do you think I wanted that
Yeah.
debate to happen?
Yeah, no, I would love to.
You
meet
know,
that
that's
too.
usually what, because I've had a few of these type of conversations with a Richard Spencer type, and that's usually what ends up happening.
Right.
The difference is of course, he's pro his side, I'm pro my side.
Because Nick Cannon went to Montana or Virginia or whatever and did a whole podcast with Richard Spencer that never got released, but they put out a couple little short clips.
yeah?
Why they didn't release it?
Well, I'm guessing because they got along a little too well. Because in the short clips that I've seen that they put out to promote it,
Who filmed it? Rich?
Nick Cannon went on a mission to do this podcast with them. But they seemed like they were getting along
So it's
great.
Nick's Cannon's footage.
Yeah.
He gonna
Oh,
get it.
Nick, come
Yeah.
on, bro. I'm coming to holler
let me buy
at
that.
you.
Yeah.
We got to see that.
Yo,
This
Yeah,
was
that
right
would be
around the
good.
time that he got all
See, the
canceled
reason
and shit.
why
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it is because I would have probably fell short of what they wanted to do, what they want us to look like, and I know that. He'd have said something to me, and I'm tripping. So Cap,
Right.
my brothers, they're a little more disciplined than me when it comes to that. I'm not at that point. Not to say that I won't get there. I
But
see
Richard,
that
he
as a
don't go off
weakness.
he don't go
Yeah.
crazy with it. He's real cool
but
with how
see,
we
y'all
talk.
can see he can say something to one of y'all, and y'all can get away with just debating it.
Right.
He say some crazy shit to me. My people looking at me like,
What you let him say that to you?
I think you would be let down by how little racist shit
No,
he
but
says.
listen, I was gonna be
Like
here.
he's almost reformed a
Yeah,
little
he's
bit.
codified. He knows what not to say that will seem inflammatory. You know?
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna set myself up. So I was
Right.
gonna put one of you brothers right here.
Yeah.
to where,
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we wasn't here for all that.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta respect my brother Adam.
Right.
Adam had his representative. The ex-Klansman, I had my representative.
That's right.
For the record, Destiny was my representative.
Oh, you let me
Destiny's
get that
not
up.
black enough for you, which is news to me. I thought he was up to the
dude
test.
we interviewed? Yeah, he was all right. He was all right. I mean, I see why y'all got along because he was an openly gay guy.
Oh, damn.
Bye.
Damn.
Damn.
That's the homie.
Same shit. I'm just saying.
Damn.
Shout out to Ray J. Yo, listen. We got to do the ask me, could we do it?
You know, I just had Sydney Starr on here, right?
You know, well, I can't say mine. I can't say
I
mine.
knew you was gonna say that.
So that's Ray J's network.
Right.
The show. It's called The Girls Club. GWORLS.
But he's doing an all trans reality show, right?
It's done. Today's the last day of shooting.
Oh, okay.
12 transgenders.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Somebody from my side, Nadi, right? I got Nadi
in
on
there.
the show. But R&B is Nadi's manager,
Okay.
right, on the show. So Nadi whooped Sydney Starr's ass already.
On the show.
On the show. Stood over Sydney and let them know this is the hunted side. Put in work like that. Now,
Damn.
I went over there to the house because I had to go over there to support Nadi because R&B had to go over there with her client.
You sure you didn't want to fill the little spank bank up while you were there?
They were they were making all kind of passes at me.
Oh, shit, man.
They was
Yeah, Sydney Starr told me that you and her have quite a history.
I was,
what
no,
the hell?
Sydney Star. First time I seen
Make sure you shut that down.
First
Shut
time I
that
seen
down.
Sydney Star was like about a week ago.
Oh, yeah?
Right? But I believe I'm gonna be real. I seen the scene and it was a certain fight broke out and you know the alphabets beef. Like the G's
Right.
don't get along with this, right?
They
So,
all
the
hate each
trans
other,
don't get
really.
along
Wow,
with
wow.
the queers about
Right.
stuff like that. I seen a certain scene and they knocked somebody out
Shit.
and the person got up and got their composures and let off a 17-shot clip.
Damn.
The hell, man.
I seen
God
it.
damn.
They men at the end
The
of the
Girls Club.
Yeah.
Coming on the Tronics Network. Y'all better tune in. It's crazy.
Whack 112 trans women all
don't let her
day,
get away
every
with
day.
Definitely wasn't me.
And the promo picture is gonna be
99.
the picture of Wack laying on his stomach with his ass out. That's gonna be the promo.
Hold on, bro. Let me ask you something. This is a setup question. So when they told you it was a picture of Wack laying on his stomach, naked,
Yeah.
did you
Boy,
take the
bro.
time to go look at it?
No.
Yes, you did.
look,
You
he
had to
paused,
take-
he paused.
Yes,
You
it's part of
paused.
the community.
You paused.
You part of the
You paused.
community.
You paused.
There you go. There you go. You part.
A lot of people saw it the other
It was
day.
just on the Twitter timeline.
Krishan reposted it the other day. I got to see it all over again.
Krishan could do that. Krishan's a female.
It was on the
Right.
Twitter
A
timeline.
man should not do that.
Yeah, it was just on
Did they
Twitter.
say, yo, Wack naked on Instagram, he laid on his stomach. Did you say, yo, let me go see this?
Man, it was on the Twitter timeline. I didn't go look at it. Was on the Twitter timeline, man.
Yo, listen.
I couldn't help it. Just
I don't
popped
know
up.
about y'all gentlemen. I sleep naked. I have sex naked. I get out the shower, get my body lotion and massage naked. So if any man want to stop and look at a naked man simply laying on the bed, then that's so you.
I didn't zoom in.
You looked at it though?
Twice.
I gave it a glance, yeah.
More than once?
Well, it's been posted on Twitter quite a few times.
It
Yeah.
kinda popped
Hey,
up.
yo,
It popped up.
It's the same way I felt when you sent me Blueface's alleged son's hernia.
Oh, Lord.
Blueface put that up.
Now I know it's just some random guy's fucking son's hernia.
It's a hernia. And he did that to get him help. And I think he got him some.
I think that was wise to do.
Yeah, 'cause she
Posting the hernia?
She had missed 4 appointments.
Oh, yeah. yeah,
damn.
That made her, because now people like, yo, are you going to take the kid?
He brought the
put up all
necessary
the-
attention
Yeah.
to get the kid taken care of.
That's what he did.
Because she was doing a horrible job. I'm sorry.
Now it ain't even his kid. Allegedly.
Allegedly, she won't give up a blood test. Gotta check the results of the blood test.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thank
No
you so
problem.
much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you bringing that.
Microphonecheck.com. Check out Microphone Check. We got a new hip hop movie coming out. Everybody support that. Microphonecheck.com. And it was my pleasure.
filmed that? That's you?
Yeah.
I'll
gotta see
definitely
that.
check that out. Make sure you go to callgas.com, get the flyers, body butters, and body oils you can find, and go to our website, isubk.com. You can see all Israelite information.
That way.
Love.
All right.